Now it worked. Now it worked. Yeah. What's up, everybody? This is Carrick with ACG, and I'm here with Johnny from Johnny Plays Live, the best not podcast video channel on YouTube, all of YouTube. I think I'm going to go, I was showing Johnny, I think I'm going to go with the full black and white today, where my upload was incomplete. This is the 56K, like, what do you call it? What was the old, was it Real Media Player? The really shitty media player from years ago, like before VLC and before Media Player Classic. It was, I think there was a Real Media where everything was compressed. Ooh, you're not, I'm glad I just looked. You're not coming through. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Filters, properties. All right, give me a sound check.
Testing.
You're
audio.
coming through. You're coming through. Weird. You were coming through in the preview.
We're back.
You were coming through in the preview. That's odd. Anyway, he's back. Yeah, we're going to talk about a bunch of stuff. We got Halo. Halo is returned. What is this? The third time? Second or third time, I think.
I don't know, but I think this one is going to be a banger.
And I'll agree with you just because you dropped banger with the G, heavy. And I agree more.
Heavy G on that.
Yeah, when you're like, dude, that's going to be a banger, then it probably means even more. Yeah, I mean, dude, it did. I mean, it did well in reviews. I know it's Unreal. I haven't looked, but I'm absolutely sure. I even put a caveat in the review. I was like, yeah, just so everybody knows, there's probably issues with Unreal and its performance. Feel like now that's just sort of a thing, right? Like all the time. Feels like, it feels like we just can't get away from it no matter what, but whatever. It is what it is. Hopefully people are enjoying it and playing it. If you did get it, I'd like to know, how it's working out for you.
Yeah, I'll have to let you know next week. I don't know if it's already out, but I haven't got the chance to pick it up yet.
Yeah. Dude, so I was out in the sun.
Yeah.
Bro. I was out in the sun, man, working out. I sat out a little
You're touching
too long.
grass?
I sat out a little. Do I look okay? I sat out a little too. Dude, that is some drunk. That is like some drunk shit right there, man. It has good frame pacing on all but low-end cards. Oh, well, that's good. Let's go back. That's good. Good to hear. Good to hear. I'm always happy when something works out for people, man. It's fun to bitch about shit, but at the same time, just glad to hear that it seems like in general, most people are having a good time with it. We'll talk about
it looks
that.
Great.
Yeah.
It was cool to hear in your review that it survived the new gameplay, with sprinting and stuff. The gameplay basically survives despite some of those changes.
It does. It survives and it evolves. Yes.
Ha!
Yes,
okay.
I said it. It really does. It really does, man. It's one of those things where you look at it and it's like, okay, listen. So nostalgia is 2200 if hindsight's 2020. Sorry. I play those old games. Yeah, they're fun, but they need to be brought forward. There is issues with it, and some of it was brought forward. Yeah, there's sprint and stuff like that, which I know people bought. Dude, I was sprinting around the game going, this is barely a sprint. It's more like, it's a true sprint where it's a burst almost of speed. It doesn't make that much of a difference. It was fine.
So it's a bit more. It's not like you're going from normal human to Usain Bolt.
I mean, yeah, not only that, dude, but like, if you are not quick on your feet, whether it be the Needler or the new weapons they've added to the game they sort of did the Hitman thing where they took the weapons from the later games. They put some of them in here. Some of those things are just fucking rough and fast and deadly. You put that on heroic or legendary and you do something stupid and you can die pretty easy, which is great. That's what I like. You can play it on story. Nothing wrong with that at all. I'm just saying the overall, I think heroic feels pretty normal, and then legendary can feel pretty crunchy. You do have to really be careful in a good way.
Yeah, but you're a godlike FPS enjoyer. You played Doom Dark Ages with like the hardest settings possible.
200% speed. Yeah, that was a blast, man. That was a blast. I wish you could do that here. I don't want all games to have it, but I think a Doom game, that works great. Maybe on Halo it would work. I don't know. That's a good point, man. Because I feel like sometimes the Halo, which is to indicate the gravity, the float that exists, is 50% of its presentation. So I don't know if I would want it to be fast. Yeah. How are the new levels they added? Sup, everybody. By the way, we'll get to you guys in a second. Sorry, wasn't ignoring you. I don't even know what we broke off into this. Yeah. So, dude. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Graphically, I got it to 120 FPS for the most part because I do want to talk about performance real quick because it's on my brain. It was above 60 for the most part on the 4090 at everything maxed with no what do you call it? No ray tracing at all. Sorry, my dog, new puppy is doing a weird bark, so I'm a little bit trying to make sure he's fine. Sticks plays hard, man. Like he goes fucking rough. He's like that. That's
battling.
Dude, you have one puppy
with the bros,
and you've got like the middle baby dog, and that guy. He's like in that adolescent phase, and I mean, we recorded him for like 8 hours, just constantly playing, like just not stopping, man.
That energy, man.
It was ridiculous. Like, I wish I had that energy. I'm high energy.
A fraction
of
that.
Let me tell you right now, I feel like I have babies. Like that, I'm taking care of a child. It's that difficult. But anyway, yeah, performance was good. Above 60, 4K, everything maxed. Couple in a cutscene or two, there was these weird like pops, I guess. Just like something happened. But dude, with my PC, because I do the clean PC and the dirty PC, the dirty being my lived-in PC, the clean being the test. You never quite know, like, is that just Windows moving a sound buffer? Like, what exactly is going on right now? And it was so rare that I was like, okay, that seems to be maybe the PC. But I did want to point it out in the review. And then DLSS.
That's awesome.
You've got
120 for that game.
Yeah.
That.
Sorry. I'm gonna have to give these dogs.
No, we only heard it a bit. Yeah,
okay,
very soft.
Because that dog's got that dolphin bark right now, and damn, it's high. Yeah, man, and for the price. So let's talk about what do you think about the multiplayer being missing, though? Now, okay, deathmatch multiplayer side suite. You still have multiplayer with your co-op online, and you got multiplayer with your 2-player split screen. So. They did not add the same mission that we would have. This will be the third time we would have played them, but whatever. But they're not in there. What do you think of that as a whole? It doesn't have to be negative. Doesn't have to be positive. I'm just saying they're not there. So, like, is that something that you think of or will think of with this?
Not too much because I'm coming fresh to the experience. I really only played like multiplayer in Halo. So like back to Halo 3 and stuff. I did a ton of multiplayer with friends.
Okay.
But the campaigns, I think I did one of them that was remade. I forget if it was Halo 2, like the one that you could switch between the new graphics and the old. You had a button to do that. And that was fun. That was a fun campaign. But beyond that, I just don't have a lot of expectations. I just know it's a fun co-op campaign. I'm gonna play it with a buddy that did play it back in the day, so maybe he'll tell me a little bit what's on or off. But I think what I'm seeing, I'm very happy to experience it for the first time, sort of without any expectations.
Right. I think with co-op Halo, I think single player Halo is fantastic. I think co-op is pretty goddamn incredible. Like
the juice.
Yeah, it is the juice. It feels good, plays well. Thanks for reminding me. I forgot about the screen thing. Yeah. Guys got to realize we got like 17 Discords here going. I'm trying to run a Discord, a Twitch, Twitter, Telegram.
How do people get into Telegram? Is that a secret Illuminati?
No. It's Reg got me into it. He just one day, I was like, yeah, what's Telegram, man? I'm assuming that's like Russian malware and, Russian military talking because they use it for that. I was like, yeah, it's got to be that. And He's like, dude, look at the numbers. And then I went and looked at the numbers, like, holy shit. So got one of my friends to basically go in, sort of look around, see who talks about what. If they talk about games, they talk about ACG, that type of stuff. And
cool.
basically started posting for me. Not as me.
Oh, gotcha.
Posting for me.
So it's like a gaming.
No.
Telegram?
Telegram is basically Twitch. It's basically, Twitter. It's like Twitter. It's just like that kind of thing, but it's got its own group.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
And it's like
used that
WeChat.
way.
It's like any of these chat, but it's got its own idiosyncrasies. And we saw massive. I mean, it was like 2 months of insane gains from that. A lot not English, which is also fine, because you look at, I mean, some of the biggest growth nations right now are like the Koreas. Obviously, China's going to be, in some places, going to be big right now. But, you know, places that don't necessarily have English as their primary language have actually done quite well for us. So, podcast and channel. So, but back to, so anyway, it's just a lot to run. So I appreciate you guys alert me to that. These guys. Anyway, I would say with the lack of the multiplayer, it is lacking. So if you want the exact package that you got back in the day, you're not going to get it. This package is this game, right? So, which indicates, or which includes a bunch of extra weapons, a bunch of new mechanisms you can do, like hijacking vehicles. I think for what Halo is to me, I would rather have that if the resources are allotted than a whole new server, set up, a whole new group of the same multiplayer maps when we've already got that running on like Infinite, stuff like that. So for this package and what they were doing, and the Hitman-esque taking some of those weapons, and they have a remix mode now, which is fucking awesome, which moves enemies amount. So you know that I talk about the Dark Souls mods that remix Dark Souls?
Randomizer,
it's
stuff
basically
like
somewhat like that. Plus you have skulls, of course. You have 42, I believe, which is, I think, 16. I did the math when I was doing the review. I did the math off the top of my head, which is weird. But anyway, so they have a bunch of extra skulls. They got the remix, plus they got some new enemies, plus they have new mechanics, plus, okay, I'm going to let these guys out. They have a they have a lot of really cool additional things in the game that I would rather be there than in the multiplayer, and return to the multiplayer, even though I love that multiplayer. If the resources are like, this is how much you have, what can you do?
Sometimes you gotta pick, right?
Yeah. I wish it was there for people who want it, though. Just because I don't want it, or just because I don't miss it, doesn't mean.
Do you think it's coming later, or
no?
Probably not.
I don't know, man. That I really don't know. I can't tell. I think you and I even talked about it. Like, is it going to? Okay, now he's chewing through an HDMI. Hey.
Yeah, that's the line we can't cross. We'll lose our video feed. Hey.
Look at that. What do you see? What do you see, buddy? He's like
the black void.
Yeah. Bones. Telegram is huge in third world countries where Twitter isn't used kinda at all. Oh, well, there you go. Thank you very much for the heads up on that. But yeah, man. Okay, they're quiet for now. Are you gonna play 2-player? For what type of co-op are you doing?
Yeah, we're gonna do 2-player, and pretty much just play through the whole campaign, and then we'll see what else we want to do.
I think you'll enjoy it. A bum named Walt, who is obviously not a bum, with a $5 super chat to keep the channel going, because, as you can tell, I'm slowly wasting away. I got to eat. $5 get you a couple Uncrustables. Not the flavors I like, because they've canceled all the ones I like, but still, it's an Uncrustable. I don't even care if it's a flavor I like.
How would you describe, for someone who's never seen, what that is? One of these Uncrustables.
Peanut butter and jelly sandwich with a circular buzz saw cut down the center, so all the crust is gone, sealed around the edges.
Oh,
so if
do you microwave that?
Yeah, you can microwave them. You can freeze them. There's cheese ones, so you can make a grilled cheese one. You can buy ones that are frozen that are cheese in the center, all that kind of stuff. He said, laid up with a foot injury from sparring, so you bastards are the best part of my weekend. I'm okay being second, sloppy seconds to,
It did sound like we were pretty low in the scale. Like, he's settling for us.
He did step us down. He did
Yeah.
he did say, here's $5, but I'm gonna put you in your place.
Nothing else is available.
In fact,
Let
it might
me-
have been just so he could walk us into being put in place. He's like, listen, I have a foot injury. I can't get out of bed to change a channel. My wife, she saw you, thought you guys were both super ugly, left you up to tease me, and now I'm stuck watching you, so here's $5.
Stapled my nuts to the seat accidentally. Here we are.
Accidentally. Dude, how many times does that happen?
Hate when that happens.
I hate when it happens. Telegram is huge. Oh, I read that. The Swamp Donkey, definitely keep the PS5. Oh, they're talking about consoles and what you're going to get. I'm from Algeria, and I don't know a single person that uses Twitter.
There you go.
I am done with Uncrustables. Doesn't mean I don't absolutely understand how fundamentally amazing they are. Just so you know. I'm also possibly done with missionary style. Doesn't mean I, would kibosh other people enjoying it. Hey, with Halo, and now it coming out and now being out, less bugs than Master Chief Collection, which is awesome. And, dude, we live in weird times. It's on the PlayStation. Can we just, have a moment to be like, that's crazy.
Damn. All this talk of exclusives. But they did say some of these were gonna still.
Yeah. There were a couple that I think they probably put some serious money into it too. You want to recoup. Hey, that's the floor, man. That's the entire floor. He just pulled up the entire car. Jesus, it's a disaster in this place. I apologize, everybody, but with new puppies, I got to watch them too. I can't throw them outside in 105-degree weather. I don't know what it is what is it where you are? Let me guess. 31. No. 30 Celsius.
It's lower. It's been lower lately.
No
so
shit.
Maybe around 26 Celsius.
Oh, that's not bad.
It's been decent.
Not bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was 103, 100, and then 90s, and I think today's 70, something like that. But it was like a clam bake yesterday. We had smoke in our area, so no sun, just the oppressive, so you couldn't feel the sun. You weren't okay, the sun, that's what's causing me to be hot. It was that kind of heat that's just everywhere around you. It was horrible outside. It was really
You're just passively roasting.
Yeah. Got it. Yeah, passively but at that point, at least, no sunburn because there was just no sun. It was crazy. 7-Eleven says, I think it's smart to put Halo 1 Remake on PS5. Use it as a bait to lure people into buying the other exclusives on Xbox or PC. I'm here at Fort Bragg, California. Here it's 62 degrees. Man, that's fucking awesome.
Wait, that's cold.
It's
no?
62.
So that's Fahrenheit.
For other people, 62. He knows me. 62 is my jam. That's what every AC in my house is set out, even in winter. 62 is CPU cooled slightly, a little bit of an overclock, right?
Yeah,
but
your SSD is running optimally.
Well, let me give you an example. Swamp Donkey says we're sitting at 82 up in Washington right now. That's 82 is getting up there to where it just doesn't feel as comfortable. Holy shit.
Yeah.
So back to Halo. I thought the sounds were done well, but I think it's very interesting that they did all the voice acting was different. And if you played Halo enough, like I have, the inflections that people used in the cutscenes.
Oh wow.
Those are changed. So there's different cutscenes.
Does that trigger you when you're expecting
yes,
a certain delivery?
So listen, it was bad enough that I had to pause it, and I would never have rated it worse. You have to rate it on what it is, but I had to pause it and be like, I have to rethink expectations because there were certain ways in which Master Chief or in which what do you call it? Johnson. I can't remember what his rank was, but where he delivered speeches in a certain way, they're not the same. And that took me a little while to come to grips with, but I got through it. Okay, he legitimately doesn't want you around anymore.
Oh, good. Johnson is a hell of a name. God damn. If you name your son that, he's getting 4 times the normal amount of testosterone.
Yeah, if your name's Johnson, double dick.
Johnson.
Soul Lee. Whoa, that is my chair. You can't eat that. $20 super chat. Did you watch any of China's World AI Conference? Very interesting. Happy Pod Day. AI work, so got to drop this and run. Thank you very much. I did watch some of it and read some of it. Maybe we'll talk about it at the end. We'll keep the AI stuff to the end.
Sweet.
Because it's existential dread for many of us, or a mixture of love-hate. Like, you love the sex bot. She looks good. But...
is there really a but?
On her? Yeah. It's a pretty nice one.
We can go back to that.
Hey, whoa! Dude, seriously. Leave that alone. He's teething. Let us discuss one thing about Halo. I'm going to drop it, and then I'm going to go and try to fucking get this puppy something.
Deal with
he's chewed, dude. So listen to this. Sticks a couple days ago. I was like, did I already tell you this, where my PC stopped working? I couldn't figure out why. The side PC?
No.
The office PC that I just moved in the office, I'm like, man, I can't connect to this. This is so weird. And I just ignored it for a day, and I went in there. He had literally, the back of the PC is right here, he had just went, and every wire was sticking out the back, with just shredded. So while it was live, it was plugged in, and he had chewed through the power wire, chewed through all the USBs, chewed through the HDMI, chewed through the display port, chewed through the Ethernet cable in a row, like he had gone in and snipped them with really rough shears. Yeah, I was like, oh, fuck, man. That sucks balls. He has destroyed so much stuff. It's fun having him, though, because it's like you're always, oh, now he laid down. Okay, he's good. I can stay here. But with Halo, the prequel missions, did you do those yet?
No. I don't have it yet.
Don't have it yet. So let me suggest something. The prequel missions cannot, because of how the original game starts, they cannot end right at the starting of the original game. But they do tell some story. And I think they'll be fairly divisive, because they're not necessarily built... One is built like Halo levels in the past. The other is built a little bit closer to a mixture of Halo Infinite and Halo 3. I enjoyed them for what they were. I enjoyed them for who you're with. I thought that was great, because you're with some other people, including the Johnson, which was awesome. Like, you'd be killing people, and all he'd do is just in the back, you'd hear him go like, hell yeah.
Johnson.
Yeah. You know, so like you'd spend an hour in some room on Legendary. When you get past it, you just hear him be like, yeah, like he did shit. Actually, he did, admittedly. But I enjoyed those, man. I thought they were actually not great overall. There was probably there was a dip in, I guess, my enjoyment in one of them, but they were definitely worth playing. And it was nice to play something new. So in that way, it's like Black Flag. Black Flag has added in parts from the mobile app, which I found out it did add. But the mobile app, it added in the ability to change the place where you park your ship. Your basically your pirate hovel. And I thought that was great. A little bit of added, but then the base game is there. That's exactly how this feels. And it was so nice to open up those prelude missions and have people who played Halo Remake play Halo, Master Chief play Halo on the 360, to be able to play a new level. It was something new. That was that was awesome. Like, when we were playing, I was at the time I was doing co-op with Jay, and then I did co-op last night with a couple friends in real life, and they were like, holy shit, this is really fun to not know where the enemies are, and to not have that spatial remembrance of
so do you recommend saving those for later?
No, I recommend playing them right away. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because it just gives you a good setup. It gives you, you learn some stuff. You see some enemies. It does explain a couple sort of like why you might be the target, why Master Chief's such a big deal. And then you jump in. But back to voices real quick, because those are also in the prior ones, and then they're in the new ones. Having them be redone, people asked if they were as good. I think they were. I think they're fine. Master Chief sounds a little older. You can hear a little bit of that. What is this?
Is it new people doing them?
One or two have retired and did get replaced, but I would say nothing that would make you be like, oh, this is terrible. Yeah. That was fine. Remade cutscenes, which look really good. They don't look like the best game ever, cutscenes, but a damn sight higher than the old ones. So yeah, it was nice. What difficulty are you going to try when you first jump out?
Good question. I don't know. It depends on my buddy as well, what he wants to play. since he's played it already, maybe we'll try heroic and see. Do you play that with mouse and keyboard, or you just kind of lay back with controller?
I did both. Controller feels, Halo's got that, even at 120, Halo's got a bit of the floatiness to it, which actually feels somewhat weirdly nice with the controller. Or maybe I just have a remembrance
so maybe
of it.
A bit more forgiving, a bit more loose.
But then mouse and keyboard feels really good too. So I didn't really have any issues with either. Jay played all with controller, was doing well. In fact, because of my excitement at attacking enemies, I certainly died at least 2-1 to him because I was just always out there, So like he held his own with the controller. Yeah. Watched your Plague Tale preview. How was the story writing? No clue. I mean, we don't know. What I saw was good, but it was just a preview. It was just an hour or so. They could have front loaded it and been awesome. I didn't like see anything bad in the Plague Tale writing so far, at least. Come on, guys. Anyway, so yeah, I mean, overall, it sounds like it's going to do well too. It seems like it's liked. I don't know. Let me check the poll too, because I asked if people were going to buy it. Nope. Looks like most people are saying no. They're going to pass on it for now. What were you going to say?
Interesting. I was going to ask you about sounds in general because I was listening to your review, to some people play it, and I really like the gun sounds, and I just don't know like how faithful they are to the old game, or if they like worked a ton on new sounds, that type of thing.
It's definitely not faithful to there's some stuff that changed, and then you have different guns that are in this than were in the original. So there's some oddities.
Oh, really? Got new ones?
Yeah, they took, like I said, it's sort of like Hitman, where they took some of the sequels guns and put them in this game. So you have different guns.
Oh yeah. Cool.
I would say, especially because as old as the game was, I mean, dude, that thing was piping out just stereo, and its 5.1 was most likely a software complete, trash. I can't remember. It's been that long. I played on PC a lot though, when it came out. I would say it feels faithful, but remember that they've taken some of the sound effects from the later games and put them here, so the Warthog doesn't sound the same to me. It's got a little bit of a different sound to it that I know some people are not going to like, because there's nostalgia again. People are going to, they're going to like what they're going to like. Bad? No. Different, and might have different reactions depending on your desire to have an exact carbon copy kind of thing. Then might bother you. It's not a remaster. I mean, they really did remake. Well, they took some of the Blam engine and put it in there, but they say they took.
Right.
So weirdly enough, I just want to point this out. In 3 different PR statements we got, as well as some interviews, they said they took parts of the Blam engine and got them in there for physics and stuff. Then somebody told me today they took the entire thing and put it in there, but they were just a random commenter. So I don't know who to believe. It doesn't really matter overall, though. It doesn't feel different, which I think is nice. It feels like Halo, which I haven't seen anybody say.
That's the most important.
It is, because Halo feels weird, man. It's different. Halo's got that different vibe going on. But I'm not buying it, but playing on Game Pass, if that counts. Oh, it counts. It counts. I probably, if I didn't put that in the thing, hopefully people understand that really what I meant was, are you going to get it?
Oh, I forgot.
Yeah. Yeah,
of course. It's going to be there.
Yeah. Yeah. It'd be awesome. Game Pass, PlayStation's where you buy it, and then Game Pass on PC will have it. So you don't want to buy it, you don't have to buy it, whatever. You can just do your Game Pass. Did you see that Game Pass also started for the Insider Group, started an ads-based Game Pass? Watch some ads.
Yeah.
Did you have any data on that one in particular? Because I think you might have been the one to also put a link in the... Thanks for starting the podcast thing, too, by the way. Because, dude...
Yeah, of course.
Went to sleep at like 4, woke up at 5, and I was like out of it when you DM'd me. And you were like, do you want to start a podcast? I was like, I forgot there was a podcast. Yes.
Okay.
I appreciate you starting that.
Yeah, man.
Do we have any more data on that in particular?
What I saw is that the people in that test group are going to be watching a number of ads before the streaming session. So the implication was that it was like for streaming.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's exclusively that.
Okay.
That was my
that makes sense.
Question mark.
Like cloud games,
right.
I guess.
Yeah, so like in your browser or whatever, plays like some ads, and then you jump into your gaming session, no more ads at that point, and that without a subscription allows you to get in there and play your game. I don't know if there's a time limit. They didn't mention that.
I think it was an hour right now for the test. I thought I saw somebody say an hour, but if there's ads at the starting and then you play for an hour free, I'm fine with that. That's fine.
Not too bad.
I don't want to see ads
as an option.
Up in, you know, like I don't want to see Monster Energy drink and Halo with a big tab, right? That opens up.
Interrupt my cutscene to like
interrupt your cutscene. Drink Monster. What is this one? Strawberry Smash or whatever the fuck that'd be. That would suck. Starting though, this is why with YouTube I'm the same way. If somebody says, "Listen, dude, you can have free content, but you have to watch some ads at the starting of the video," I'm like, "That's fine, man. I can deal with that. Just don't interrupt it." Like when you pause. So this isn't even really an ad in the game. This is an ad prior to play the game for free. I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
Now, how long that'll last like that, who knows? But that's the way it should. If it's going to do it, that's the way it should. You know, that's the way it should go, especially for people who just want to test the cloud. GeForce Now does that. They have a test. I think testing in the cloud is probably going to be bigger rather than smaller. So I think a lot of people are going to be doing it. No, not ads in games, technically 7, at least so far. Ads prior to the game. Let's see. Oh, what's up, Asa? How are you doing? What are you playing, Asa? Let me guess. I can't guess. I never quite know what he's going to play, because he plays some eclectic games, or he plays like Baldur's Gate for 900 hours.
I don't know if he's still playing Pal World, but he set up a server. I was in there playing with those guys a bit.
That's just weird. Alex says ACG Marvel Token open, or what was that? How did they pronounce it? Tokon. Yeah, Tokon. Open beta is live. Any thoughts? Not yet. No, I haven't done it. Haven't got a chance to play it. I want to play it bad. I think Marvel looks really enjoyable.
It does look good.
I'm shocked they don't do ads more like movies, to where the ads are built into the game. Well, that's not that's product placement.
Yeah, that'd be different.
That's product placement. So that is another one that Johnny and I've talked about, like in a GTA, if they want to put Pepsi on a billboard, I'm fine.
Yeah.
This is just
Didn't they do that with Death Stranding? Yep. Wasn't there a time where you drank Monster and they changed it?
Yep. Just making sure these guys don't kill each other. Yeah, it wasn't
Did
bad.
it bother you, like, when you played that you saw like a Monster can in the game?
I mean, it's weird because it's post-apocalyptic, and it's a weird ad there, but it's also Kojima, and maybe he thought it made sense. I don't know, because it's a weird game. Any other
you
game?
never know if he did it to be a meme or like just speak to a group.
Let me give you an example. If it was Life is Strange, I think you and I discussed this 3 weeks ago. If it was Life is Strange and it was Doritos, no issues. I want the right foods on that table. I don't want to see Doritos, right?
Yeah, Doritos.
Yeah, dude. Nobody. I mean, come on, man. Like, dude, I'm not that. Games are, and movies and TVs are sacred as my enjoyment. I love them, but not so sacred that I can't say it's goofier when it's like Coca-Cola instead of just Coca-Cola. You know, if that's what they're drinking, that's what they're drinking. I'm fine with it. I think I'm going to do some Flat Out VR. Yeah, Flat Out VR. Flat Out's a good game. The Flat Out games are actually pretty fucking sweet. I enjoy those.
Flat Out, not Fallout.
No, not Fallout. I think he said Flat Out. Yeah. Fallout VR was really enjoyable. The Minister energy drink in Death Stranding was fine. It was Minister? I thought it was Monster.
Yeah, that's just a big ass typo right there.
Oh, is it? Okay, yeah, he changed it. Yeah. He changed it. Yeah. I was like, what? Elder Scrolls 6 plus Doritos equals natural. That's for sure. That's for sure. I mean, if Elder Scrolls,
good fit
ever comes out. Who's to decide what's appropriate or not? Nobody. Just every single person playing it. That's exactly what you want. You choose. We don't want any group choosing. I don't want any fucking group. I don't want any gamer group choosing. I don't want any damn federal group choosing. People were celebrating the federal government getting involved in games for various reasons. And I was like, dude, fucking, dude, history. Read your fucking history books. Mm-hmm. You do not want the federal government in your entertainment. You want to figure it out yourselves.
You don't want them involved.
And if you can't, you're going to have to go with whatever is the worst in those games or movies or whatever, and pick and choose on your own. The government will never unencumber. They will never eject. They will never uninject themselves from something.
Once you inject them in there. Yeah, exactly. And I think also it's the proof is in the pudding kind of thing. So like if you do the product placement and it has like really bad reception, people hate it, then you know it didn't work kind of thing, right? Then maybe you can pull it out. I don't think it's that big of a deal. So I think they can have a try with it where they think it fits. And worst case, they can always remove it. You know, I don't really view it as it's not going to kill a game ever. I don't think.
No, and if it does, I think it does. I think,
yeah.
I think.
Yeah, maybe the game wasn't that good. You know,
I mean, yeah, like
if a can of Coke.
That's sort of just how it goes, you know? Yeah. I don't want overarching groups. It's so funny because I'll get people saying I'm right or left. I couldn't tell you what I am because I sort of vacillate depending on what situation we're talking about, which is what I think you should do in real life. I don't hold up a certain group, but I also don't want more groups in my entertainment. I don't want, because it won't ever be less regulation. It just won't, you know? It won't be less. And it's one of the things you just absolutely do not want. I want them out. I don't want them touching any of my shit. But that also requires, you know, the people to like it. I guess the people to not get a bunch of FOMO and get something anyway, which I think gamers are pretty bad at that. I've seen a lot of people putting their foot down and then being like, all right, whatever, I'll get it. And you're like, all right, well, we sort of lost that battle. Have you ever not got a game because of something in the game, Johnny? Have you ever? Never?
No, I don't think so.
That's a good. Anybody in chat too? I'm sure chat's going to be a little bit more on the side of like instant yes, which makes sense. There's more people in chat than just you and I. But I'm trying to think if I've ever not got a game because of something in the game.
It would have to be so egregious.
Yeah, and by the way, can we, intelligence-wise, can we just realize that we're not talking about like hentai stuff or crazy shit? Like, obviously, there'll be stuff I wouldn't get or even be interested in some games.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about your general
for
games.
Sure.
I don't think I don't think I have. But I think I also maybe I probably have and just moved on. Like maybe something did pop up and I'm like, I don't find that, you know, like I don't support this one thing or whatever. And I'm sure it's happened. I have told others, like when you look at, you know what, Johnny? I think it's actually when less is in the game, not when something's in the game. Like Sea of Thieves. Because when Sea of Thieves launched, it's basically
it was bare.
It was bare as shit. And I was like, come on, man. You know, Battlefront 2, Battlefront 2, I definitely told everybody not to get. Battlefront 2 is actually probably the best example for me as well. I just Battlefront 2's microtransactions were things that at the time, nobody had done that. Now Take-Two takes the cake. You know, you get like your UFCs or you get your whatevers and you're buying a lot of micros. But at the time, it was pretty crazy. Jay says, $10 super chat. Jay wants to know cheeseburgers or pizza. Pizza.
I'd probably go with pizza as well. Yeah, safe bet.
I like cheeseburgers probably better, but I think weirdly enough, I think pizza's a little easier to eat because I don't like when you bite into a hamburger.
It depends on the cheeseburger too.
It depends.
Because some are so nasty.
Yeah.
You know, they come just packed.
Yeah, what's the one where they always get the really pretty model to then look like she's getting a facial from mustard? And they're eating it, and it's just all over her face, and it's like glory hole. Oh, what is that? It's Carl's Jr., right? Isn't it Carl's Jr. that makes the really attractive person look fucking disgusting? Dude, they're the worst commercials in the world. The most unattractive. Basically, they'll get somebody who's like smoking hot, and then they'll be like, you know, Carl's Jr., we don't give a fuck, or whatever they're saying, and they're just biting into, and it's all over their face, and it triggers some animalistic shit for sure.
Yeah.
Let's see. Kel says, I did not get a number of PlayStation games on Steam when they were requiring me to create a PSN account. Yeah, that is for sure never stopped me. Absolutely dumb, but no way am I going to be stopped.
Yeah.
Dude, I've had to
it's going to annoy me.
I've made accounts for a single article on somebody's Substack or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I get it. I mean, you do you, for sure.
I was checking out some like bad product placements we've had in games. NBA 2K had like a Pizza Hut event that everybody hated.
Oh my God, I forgot. Of stuff. There you go. Yeah, read these out. What do we got?
Yeah. Apparently Metal Gear Solid has had stuff like Monster or like other stuff. Let's see. Any recognizable ones? Says here Alan Wake on the Xbox 360 have Energizer batteries.
Yeah, and by the way, can I point something out?
Yeah.
Worst fucking commercial ever for batteries, because batteries lasted 3 seconds.
Thank you.
Can we?
What's going on with those batteries?
No, they're terrible. And how can that be an ad, man? Dude, they're horrendous.
Yeah, that's a reverse ad.
Weird. Anyway, what else we got? Any other bad ones?
Let's see if I can find any other recognizable ones. Pikmin 2. Duracell had something in there for product placement with Pikmin 2. Splinter Cell Chaos Theory had a really obvious placement for some gum.
For gum?
Chew 5 gum. This is Reddit, so it's all like disjointed. They don't say specifically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are Rainbow Six Vegas had Comcast billboards. There you go.
Rainbow Six Vegas had Comcast billboard. If there were billboards up for a bunch of shit and Comcast was on there, it wouldn't surprise me. But if it was just like Comcast billboards, I'd be like, dude, what are you doing?
It's only Comcast billboards.
Yeah. What are you doing? Just fucking Comcast. You're like, there's not even supposed to be a billboard here. Didn't Quantum Break have Nissan ads? It's possible. Possible. I don't remember much about that one. I mean, I remember the game, but I don't remember much about thoughts on the side. Let's see. What else do we got for Halo? Is there anything else to talk about with Halo? Got reviews about 81 to 85. Most issues I've seen have been generally around the tech, like somebody getting a bug. Mm-hmm. I saw some of those. I saw lack of multiplayer. There were some people who really wanted it to play the multiplayer, which is fair. Hey, if it's not in there at all, you shouldn't be getting the game.
If maybe that was the big thing you wanted, that sucks.
Agent says, well, one could say those Energizer batteries are so powerful they can contain the Dark Force stuff. That is true. You could say.
They can't contain it very well,
and here we go. Venster says, Final Fantasy 15 with Cup of Noodles.
True, Cup Noodles. The cook guy mentions, Yeah,
that is true. So moving on from Halo, glad it's out. Glad we're there. We're now.
Oh, I have one final question.
Yes, go. What
difficulty? What difficulty should people, or what difficulty should I start with that you would recommend? Just start heroic.
Start heroic.
Yeah.
Very fair. Very fair. Lots of weapons thrown everywhere. You might have to throw those grenades that you want to hold on to, but they're not useful if you're dead. So I don't know what the fuck you're holding on to those grenades for.
What are you doing?
Toss them.
Yeah.
Toss them. Heroic is very comfortable for most people. But no shame if somebody wants to play story. I've had many of my friends who played Halo only. They've never played another shooter at all. But they played Halo with me because they thought the story looked cool and they just wanted to shoot some guys and see what happened to the story.
Vibe.
Yep. And I think that's just awesome. That's
the slight challenge, I think, is a bit part of the appeal too, right? Like when you go into a room and you're kind of like, maybe you want to sweat a bit.
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. I mean, and it's a different style than Gears. Gears is chess. This is a little like
It's
checkers
funny you
because
mentioned
of how
that.
fast you move through it.
Because I was playing the Gears remaster they did for PC recently. It's just the other day with a friend.
Oh, and that was it just that you're playing it.
That,
yeah.
That's it. That's the extent of the...
I was expecting that. I thought you were building on the chess motif there.
No.
But yeah. Currently going through all GTA games before 6. Currently on 4 and loving it. Have you all ever done a full franchise replay? Dude, how many times have I said I was gonna and then never did?
No, man. I need palate cleansers. It's the same with books, dude. I can read one Harry Potter book, but like 2 in a row, probably not.
Oh, okay, interesting.
I want some sci-fi in the middle, or
really? Okay, yeah. See, I think you and I've talked about this. I definitely am more into if I'm into a fiction
you just
style.
Read 45 books of Warhammer,
and it'll be 5 years, 7 years, solid, where it'll just be cyberpunk, and then one day, I'll be like post-apocalyptic. Now, I will say in the last 5-10 years, because I DM so many games on the side now, that I have to switch it up because it's not all post-apocalyptic, or it's not all my game, or it's not all the game that I've played with my friends. It's like sometimes it'll just be a random game. I always find it easier to watch a show or read a book when I'm getting ready to do a D&D game to get my brain into not cyberpunk, we're in this, or not this, we're in this. But so I've definitely got better. But Highlanders Grim 0351 $5 super chat. Thank you very much. Do you see Undead Labs doing a remake of State of Decay 1 and 2 and releasing them? Listen, I've never thought of that, weirdly enough, and I don't know why. But I think that would be fantastic. Yeah. That would be awesome. I would kill for that, especially, I'm not even going to waste anybody's time, especially if they change the thing in 1 that I hated. Yes, that would be awesome.
Was it 1 or 2? It's the one where they changed.
It's 1.
It's 1.
It's 1. Sorry, don't know anything about Wolverine. Haven't seen anything about that. Eternal says the base GTA 4 was too bleak. Yeah, GTA 4 is pretty bleak. We were talking about that just last night. We were talking about the voice actors and all these games and how each one has its own feel. And somebody mentioned 4. And it was just this. It was like, whoa. For a lot of people,
it is your classic Eastern European,
track
dead inside vibe.
Not bad. I'm just saying it's vibe. No. You can't look at Ballad of Gay Tony and say that vibe wasn't different. And certainly the Sons of Anarchy style. It's one of my favorites, and I always forget the name. But Lost in the Damned. They all have their different. They all have their little different motif. Asa said something about Sega. I want to read this. My dad has only ever played MS Flight Sim and Halo and 40 seconds of Sega Rally one Christmas morning. Sega Rally.
Wow. 40 seconds is a specific amount of time.
True. But I'll tell you what, Sega Rally, when that first came out, it was a moment. It was a moment. It was back in the day when a racer had 3 levels. That was good enough. Daytona, full game, $59.99, 3 tracks. It didn't.
That's when people complain now for like
25 fighters, 60 stages, and then her color, her dress color is actually
we had like 4 stages in Street Fighter 2.
Smash a car. Smash a car.
You got the Japanese one and like
he smashed the walls a couple times and gave up. I mean, those were different style of games, right? They were like when they're a quarter muncher style game translated to a home console, sometimes that quarter muncher part comes out and it doesn't feel great on a home console. Ghouls and Ghosts, I felt that way. It wasn't a quarter. It felt like it was made for a quarter munching. It wasn't originally done that way. And I remember playing that being like, Jesus, I feel like I'm dying.
Was that a Sega game as well?
It was. No, it's not. It wasn't their only game. No, it was just on the Genesis. It is how I played it. And I really like Ghouls and Ghosts. I think the game is amazing. It wasn't necessarily on the hard side, but it had all of the tropes that you expect. 1 or 2 hits, big boss, that kind of, just so like there was just a lot of it that was in the old style. And back in the day, three lives, and then the game's over. The old
Yeah,
the old 3 and you're out kind of thing.
you're
Now
cooked.
I can't remember the last game I played where it was 3 and out. I'm sure I'm not saying there aren't a bunch. I'm just saying my own
So
personal
people,
experience.
can you imagine how people would rage on Reddit? Oh my god, I made a mistake and now my whole save is gone. I have to retry from scratch.
Hey, let's talk about what you just mentioned, man. So, Bloodwalker went gold, right? I don't know what gold means for a digital game. It went ready, right? And they've been
ready.
so terrified of people getting mad that you can't do everything in one playthrough. They are like in full panic mode. Every interview,
Dude,
every article. And by the
I
way, when I say
embrace that
panic,
shit,
I'm
man.
not saying that they're bad for being they're in a panic. They're trying to make sure people know
Sure.
that's not what the game's about.
Yeah.
But that shows you just how like we
It does.
know it's going to happen. People will be like, I can't believe you can't join the Assassin's Guild and the Templars Guild who hunts the assassins.
Mhm.
You're just like, dude,
I
seriously.
mean, I'm happy they are managing expectations around
too.
that, because the one thing that would piss me off is if I had the impression that I could do everything, but then it's like, oh, But even then, man, I like the idea of choice. Just feeling like you have to choose between two good things, and maybe you missed out a little bit, but it's exciting. Makes it matter.
Yeah. I mean, I it doesn't matter either way. I'll play, but I just know when that game comes out, you're going to have a lot of people
And
up.
weirdly enough, it usually doesn't make me want to replay the game. It could, but it's not that common. We talked about it sometimes in the past where, you have your experience with the game and that
Yep.
was your journey in the game.
Yep. And it's good.
You missed
It's
out
like
on some stuff,
They made it clear back in the day, ages ago. They're like, no matter what you think, you will not be able to do it all. And it's like, okay, once you're sort of warned of that, it's on you a little bit,
Yeah.
But we know that it's on you means nothing right now. There's going to be somebody who's like, oh my God. Like I said, just the joining of, somebody said Bloodwalker is a cool name. Bloodwalker, Nightwalker. Yeah. Tortilla Walker. Nope, not as cool. Yeah, Bloodwalker, probably the best name. Just saw a trailer for Blade Runner 2099. Talked about that yesterday too. Super excited for that. It actually looks really good. Love to see a TV show based on Blade Runner.
Yeah.
Cantanker's Goat says something. Dude, even in a game where you can do everything in one playthrough, I don't.
Yeah, absolutely.
That is absolutely true. I play organically, man. Like I'm not there's no FOMO for like if something sucks, something sucks. You go into Yakuza.
Yeah, watch me care. I didn't have sex with the bear. Okay.
I didn't get every single thing for Infinite Wealth's fucking island. It's like good on you for giving up.
Oh, dude, you could spend a lifetime there.
Yeah. Bloodwalker, Texas Ranger. I feel like that's actually pretty true to real. Just saying. What else do we got? What else do we got for news? What other stories do we got in the old Discordian?
Let's see. Pal World hit 30 million sales. Yeah, I know you care a lot about Pal World as a game. You're excited.
I'm happy they did well.
That's the most we'll get on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. They did pretty well. They had almost 1 million. I think it was 1 million players concurrent, but not quite there.
That's
it was
fantastic too.
Getting close.
That's
pretty
awesome
good
too.
for them.
Love that.
Very fun survival game.
No.
I've dabbled in it quite a bit. What?
I was just saying, no, it is not a very fun survival game.
It's not fun. Okay, gotcha.
Go ahead.
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
Do you want me to sell you on it like I did with Raft?
No, I played it. I played Power.
You did?
I played a bunch of Power World. Yeah.
In the early...
I'm
the
3-4 months ago. Maybe
Okay.
5 months ago. I returned to it as well, and then when it came out, it was just. It's very much feels like a very poorly put together mod of many other things smashed into one thing. Some people are going to love that. but most of the people I know who like it agree that is what it feels like. You just, a lot of things that don't make sense are just shoved into something. If you want a grab bag game, it might be your thing, but for that period of time when I was playing, I guess I just wasn't into that. I just wasn't, for whatever reason, into the grab bag. I wasn't too bothered by the copying thing, I mean, I was bothered by, like, I don't want anybody to do it, but there was like, and there were so many bullshit news stories about that. Like, they copied, they didn't copy. Here's their animation skin skeleton. Then, those turned out to be fake. All that shit because of the PAL world and, Pokemon overlap.
I don't really care if you throw balls to catch them or you have some other thing.
I don't care about. Like, the fact that Nintendo tried to, or did successfully, I guess, patent that is ridiculous. Dude. I
do think, as someone who loves like colony management and that type of stuff, I think they nailed the quality of life for all that, because it's super easy for you to like spin up a new base.
Well, that's always a huge
building
plus,
works great,
right?
That's always a huge plus.
Yeah, that's one of the biggest
it keeps you going
in every game. Yeah,
just the friction is in there.
Yeah, I hate that shit in games. Like,
absolutely.
And in a game like this where it is sort of a lot all over the place.
Yeah.
If you're not stuck digging into that a lot, and you can set something up quickly and get back into whatever game, that's good. That's a smart game design. That's actually smart game design.
It is. It does look very generic, though. I think that's my biggest issue with it. Like, I like the pals. They are quite creative. They look cool when they're doing stuff. But the general like environments and everything look very much kind of generic.
I guess that's how I felt, is like the art was all over the place. And that meant also just the world felt disjointed as shit to me.
Yeah, the world felt
high res, low res, modern, fantasy, all just sort of smashed up with no reason, rhyme or reason. I did sort of like the combat kind of stuff, though, of it, for sure.
Yeah, it works well.
That's the most positive you're going to get from me on that. I don't think that was actually that negative, in all honesty.
No, I think I got more than what I expected there. I wanted to talk about Steam Machine, because surprisingly, people are buying the Steam Machine. No shade, homies in the chat who bought one. I'm not saying it's bad, but between 12,000 and 15,000 sales per week was being reported. Isn't that kind of nuts for that system?
That doesn't seem very high at all. So you're saying 15,000 a week for a Steam, a Valve created item? No, that doesn't seem high.
Okay.
I guess I'll say for money wise it is. Yeah, money wise it is. Now that I think about it, yeah.
I guess I was comparing it to like people buying a PC, but it's not really the same.
I see what you're saying.
Type of investment,
right? Okay, yeah. I mean, I guess you could say it's a lot compared to some things. Like, it's a lot compared to an Xbox, because I don't think they're selling very well, even with this percentage raise. I hate that kind of shit too, by the way. Just so everybody knows, a percent without the initial numbers is useless. This went up 50%. You're like, well, if it was selling 2, long joke. We've all told that joke, but it's because the joke is true. It's quite factual. It's like, dude, without any information, we have no ground level. Yeah. I don't know. I guess with Valve, when they hit it out of the park, you have to hear about it for so many years, like the Index and stuff like that, which remember, the Index was at a premium price point day one, meaning its price point was already here 6 years ago or whatever. And so you're always here. And then we saw the Steam machines the first time do terribly. And then you see the Steam Deck. Now you see the Steam machines again. It's hard to know what is success there for them or whatever. It is 15,000 more each week. So that is better than zero. And I wouldn't want it to fail, but I will say at that cost, it's got to be a very, very particular segment of people spending that much money on it. It's got to be.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not the greatest numbers at all, but if you're comparing it to normal, to a PC or whatever, to a console or whatever, it's not. But it's like, it's hard to know how they're comparing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I don't know. It's so weird.
It's interesting.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean,
It is an
I haven't
interesting device
got a chance to
because the
play.
form factor, I think, is actually quite good. You know,
Yeah.
it's a small
Small.
box. Like it's actually quite small, right? And I do like the Steam Deck and like the way games work. You jump in, you know, boot your game, so it works in the same way.
Sure.
So there's cool stuff there, but it's just the power of it is just not. I would rather try to build a small form factor PC because I've built PCs. I think that could be a fun little project to do. And I think you just get much more, because you can have a dedicated GPU in there, right?
Yeah, and you could probably have
like
better
a cheap
RAM.
AMD.
Their RAM
better
issue
RAM,
is sort of weird with some of them being single
because they had the one channel.
Yeah, there's definitely stuff where like if I was going to get one, I would try to source whatever best version like make sure that it had the best of. Size is great for a moment when you see it when you're buying a PC. But at that point, it dies out for me completely because I don't play that box sitting on my shelf. I can't say, yeah, I know it gets bad FPS, but look how small the box is. That's just weird. It's such a...
That's not going to help
it
doesn't.
The FPS. It moves it off over here. But I can say that it's really good that it shows that form factor, it's super low power. So bigger form factors would require more space and stuff. I do like small form factors for living rooms. I do think you probably would be better served if back in the day when things were the normal price, getting like a handheld device, even a Steam Deck, because you get the utility of a handheld as well as you can plug it into your HDMI, that kind of stuff. I think I think that's always like a big positive, is the utility. I guess that's the big problem I have with this. There's no utility to it. Other than, hey, it's a desktop and it's small for your living room. There's no, I've seen like the Steam Deck, the handhelds, and I see a lot of utility. And right now, it's really hard to sell somebody on any of this shit. I mean, it's really
very hard.
Dude, did I tell you? So we were in chat and got a DM, and they're like, "Yeah, man. So gonna upgrade my PC," and I was like, "Oh, that's cool, man. What are you getting?" And they're like, "Well, I'm gonna get some RAM." And I was like, "Well, super expensive. You don't need it." I probably need it. I was like, "Okay. So how much do you have?" 64 gigs. It's like, what are you going to? 128. Yeah. I was like, "Dude, what are you doing? You are neck deep in FOMO right now." I was like, "Don't ask me again. Give yourself a week before you DM me."
You are being mind controlled.
You are being mind controlled by that shit. 64 gigs is what I have 128, admittedly, but I bought it prior to all this shit happening. But I'm telling you right now, you can render entire videos and play games with 64. You can, as long as your CPU, most people who had that much would have it. So we're just putting two and two together. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. Just don't do it, man. Don't listen to these fucking guys. Mark my words. It's going to happen. The same thing's going to happen with monitors. They're running out of improvements on monitors. They're running out of better screens.
If anyone has tested rendering a video and playing a game,
real quick, I just want to explain this one thing, that because I want people to be aware this is going to start happening. Right now, they're at the end of being able to sell some of this shit. So expect your big YouTubers to start trying to sell you on monitors with barely any increase and these newfangled numbers and names and shit like that. And that's what they did with DDR5. You saw for the longest time, DDR4 had better latency and was way cheaper. And we saw it with ray tracing in a way. But you see that kind of stuff. You can't get into the FOMO, man. Because 164 a shit RAM, 128 a shit RAM is not going to be as useful as 64 a fast RAM in today's current market, where you can't even eat up the 128. I can, normal consumer can't. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. What were you?
No, not at all. I was just going to say, if anyone has tested rendering a video and playing a game at the same time, it's probably you.
Yeah.
So take your
Not on
word
purpose,
for it.
I don't think. I'm going to be brutally honest, Johnny. I think I had 32 on the PC, and I'm pretty sure we were all doing like Back 4 Blood, and I just hit play and forgot that I was rendering, and it either failed or worked. And then when you get 64, it just doesn't fail anymore. It just,
Yeah.
I mean, there's
it's a huge amount.
It's a
Yeah.
massive fucking amount, man.
Massive.
It's massive.
Yeah.
Fuma Chaba La 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 La. Listen to this name. I love it. Fuma Chaba La La 62 ... So it may even be more. Czar 14 super chat. Hey ACG, I'm gonna DM my first campaign. Any tips? Yeah, two types of tips. I got a lot of D&D questions too recently from Telegram because I mentioned some stuff, and then from Twitter and some people from Discord. But real quick, DM tips. There's two types. I'm assuming if it's your first time, you're reading from an adventure. I'm assuming. Make sure you read it 2 or 3 times. Because I know some people will read it and be like, I'm going to wing it when we start DMing, and you won't be able to wing it. You're going to read a book while people are trying to be DM'd, and it will suck for everybody. And it will happen no matter what, but if you can minimize it, the best. So if it's an adventure you've bought, read it, watch podcasts of people who have DM'd it, watch live plays of people who have DM'd it, and have some outs there. Some things that you can have people do while you're thinking or reading. Always have outs. So if you're playing a D&D game with somebody and you need a second to look something up, have them roll knowledge rolls. Have them, give them something to discuss. Offer to them, hey, here's a moment for you guys to discuss something, and give them a little hint and have them discuss and tell them, because a lot of game players who are new may not play with a new DM, so I'm assuming they might be new too. Give them a heads up and be like, this is a time when you guys can talk in a group, like a movie where characters are talking, like Lord of the Rings had traveling sections where they talked. And if they didn't, you'd be like, who the fuck are these people? The who the fuck are these people in D&D is not the guy who punches like Ken in the fight at the end. It's the person who is telling a story while you're walking somewhere down the street past a noodle joint. That is what people will remember forever. They will say, oh man, remember when you knocked out the boss? Sure. But they'll be like, the reason why I remember that is because I remember you and what little stuff you did. And by giving them an out and saying, hey, yeah, talk about it amongst yourselves. What do you guys want to do? And then you have it to look up. Also have notes. If there's something you notice that you're having a problem with, put some notes down. If you are freeform like I am, yeah, caffeine. Caffeine, food, are probably the 2 most important things for somebody who is going to freeform a D&D game.
Wow.
More than anything. You can have...
That sounds like a lot of prep, dude.
For
to
what?
do...
For doing the adventure and reading it?
Yeah,
that is a lot of
prep. Like prepping it and just having it all in your mind.
Freeform D&D is great for me. Because it's just like, I already have the world in my brain. I think about it all the time when we're not playing. So somebody says, I want to do the craziest shit. I usually have thought about it, or I can put it together in my brain, simulate it, and be like, here's what happens. But if you're
reading because you've read
can be tough.
A lot of those, and you just...
Yeah.
You remember a lot of those?
I just read, and I love this stuff, just like games. I mean, I'm watching GDCs, but with D&D, I'm reading source books, and I'm like... And I imagine shit. So you know how you and I've talked, you read and you forget where you are? You're like, oh, shit, I was there. I was in there. I'll read a source book and somebody will mention a tangential creature. They'll be like, yeah, we saw, it had, like, its eyes were on its feet or whatever. Just something weird. And my brain will be like, wait, what? And then I'll think about it. I'll think about the ecology. How does that get created? Why are the feet? What's going on where the eyes are on the feet? Why would that be? And because I love that stuff. I love trying to figure that stuff out on my own. And then, weirdly enough, any extra thought you do will always come out in a freeform game. It cannot come out in an adventure. If you're reading from an adventure, that shit can't get in there because the adventure may break that. Or you may break your adventure. You may say blankety blank. Now you're fucked because everybody's like, but you said, and you're all shit. But if it's a freeform thing, already. you can just, dude, we've had conversations for 50, 60 minutes of role-playing where nobody was bored, where it was like no rolling, well, some rolling, but most of it was talking and engaging with characters and like CSI Miami, sit somebody down and interrogate them. That kind of stuff is action if you do it right. And it was like we've had those moments where people, and then afterwards somebody's like, I will remember forever the 5-minute discussion we had in Taco Bell before we went to this battle, because we all sat down and started joking and had like a food fight in the middle of the Dairy Queen. Just something weird, that kind of stuff is great.
Yeah.
But again,
That must be a
Freeform is food and
wild
caffeine.
experience.
It's fun. Well, we'll get you in if you want. I've been doing. I think this will be the 60th D&D game this year that I've DM'd for the patrons. Just random people who ask, and we just do.
Damn. Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
I turn on the Discord. Everybody sits in. Everybody gets their computer program up, and then I say, "Give me 3 things, and I'll make a world out of it." So, like the last one we had was, sentient sharks, post-apocalyptic world with weather pattern issues, and an alien apocalypse at the same time. And within like 15 minutes, we had a full game with character classes.
I love the idea of that because we've talked about how constraints actually give you creativity, right? So those things, in a way, give you your drawing space.
Yeah, it was
operate in.
Those kind of things are a blast to me, to just sit down with friends and be like, let's fucking go. Well, you've heard it. You come in the Discord and you'll hear us tell a story. Like I'll make up a history for one of the people in the patron, because like they leave during a discussion. I'll be like, you know why you left, right? And then you spend 15 minutes making something up. That's D&D. Caffeine is key. Bring that energy. Yeah, caffeine and food is key for the brain, man. It's why I always have I know people get mad. They think I'm sponsored by Monster. I'm not. I like to make sure we don't have a lull, and I make sure I eat prior to the podcast.
Talk to us. Monster, hit us up, slide the envelope.
Monster, if you can figure out my phone number, which is unlisted and nobody has because it's a burner phone,
they'll send a man.
Give me a ring.
Send a person.
Send a person to my house, to the door I never answer and will not ever answer. Send that guy there, and if I find you've done both, maybe I'll let you in next time. Maybe. But it just all depends. Dude, I don't answer my door at all, man. I got a ring, and I got a Ring camera now, which is even better. So now I can be like, is my house on fire? Nope. And then just
not a fireman. We're good.
Is that a fireman? No, it is not. What else we got for you? Thank you for the question, by the way. And I hope you have a good time, man. One thing is, don't stress it. Just get, can I rejoin the Discord if I sub as a member again? I mean, unless you did something wrong.
Yeah.
I had that a couple weeks ago. Somebody sort of pretended like they hadn't been banned. We only have 7 bans in the entire time of the Discord, which is really low.
Yeah, it's pretty rare.
But they fucking were trying to pretend they were somebody else, and because of the way they were writing, I was like, I think you're trying to get back in. If you're out, you're out. You's out. Because we don't ban unless something is crazy.
Yeah.
Back to games. What else we got?
So there was a news. Can you say that? A news? No.
A news item.
It's a piece of the VP of engineering for Xbox left after 3 months of being there. So the guy is called. He hasn't died yet that we know of.
Yeah, he didn't die. He didn't. Johnny's not saying he's dead.
Has not died. Jared Palmer. And he joined with Asha and like her new leadership team and stuff.
Yeah.
And apparently left amicably. That's what the update says. So nothing like shady or bad, but I mean, doesn't paint a great picture, does it? Like someone up there in the leadership group leaving so quick. Apparently was because of some other opportunity in the AI sector he wanted to go for. I'm just not a fan of like everything I'm seeing. Doesn't paint a great picture.
Jared Palmer left Microsoft after roughly 3 months. He joined. Oh, this is the one. So, by the way, this was sort of explained a bit. He was offered more money than like God. I can't remember.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't remember which news article it was, but a news article was like, listen, normally I would bitch about that. It was a person who bitches a lot, and they were like, normally I would bitch about this, but seeing the writing on the wall and what this company pays, it was a no-go. It was a non-starter. It was like the moment the amount of money was bandied around, that person was gone. So
yeah,
take that as you will.
That happens.
Yeah, it happens. It happens.
It doesn't mean he hated Xbox.
No, and I believe he was also So they say he joined Cognition, but I'm pretty sure he did something else as well in AI. So it makes sense, for that person to go. It could also be bad, but I'm just saying, from what I had seen on Twitter, one of the few times I went on Twitter, somebody was talking about just that, and they were like, "Oh, blah blah blah." Yeah, dude, he was fast. He was like, "Video's out." I literally alt tabbed to open ChatGPT, and somebody's like, "Video's gone. I'm fucking leaving." Like, guys, like I said, 15 windows here. But back to games and good stuff. Is there any good stuff? Any good non-people?
Yeah, for sure.
What do we got for good?
You posted some stuff too. I can
did.
go back to my stuff later. So you had like Denuvo being removed from 007 First Light.
Yep, Denuvo is being removed from 007. So for people who are anti-Denuvo, you can do one of two things: hold it against them forever and be like, "You're never getting my money ever," and hold on to that. Or with Denuvo gone, if that was stopping you, it is going away.
How do you understand why they start with Denuvo and then decide to remove it?
Initial sales. Make it as hard as possible to copy, and then don't worry about it
early on.
Yeah, that's...
it kind of makes sense.
Dude, it makes sense even for the old company I worked with. We quite literally knew exactly what was happening. We put out a product we knew, so there were certain online protections we had, and then the moment it was sort of out and we had made our initial sales, and by the way, people weren't even mad about what we had, but the idea had always been to sort of, because we had to make money, we made the goddamn thing. It's not a charity, so then you remove it. Yeah. What else we got? Any other positives?
Positives. You had talking about Dragon's Dogma 2, Dark Arisen. They're bringing transmog and hard mode.
Transmog's pretty cool for those people like it. Hard mode is better. They said there's no scaling on the new DLC. It's gonna be, you can choose modes. So the scaling could be pretty rough, or not scaling, but level cap was pretty rough. At least I felt it was in Dark Arisen the first time I did it. Maybe now I wouldn't.
Yeah.
But at the time I was like, wow. I think it said level, and feel free to correct me if you're in chat, but I think it was level 50 or something or above. And I think I was level 51 or 52. And I was like, well, they're saying 50, but damn. It was where I felt it was pretty on the hard side. Anything
That's
else?
cool. I'm excited for that. Did you have an issue with the end game being too lean in that game? Did you want a ton more
in Bond
end game stuff to do? No, in Dragon's Dogma 2.
In Dragon's Dogma 2, no. Honest truth, no. No, I thought Dragon's Dogma 2 delivered what I wanted out of. I got the hours I wanted. It had cool character classes that were different. I enjoyed the story and exploration. I had some issues with performance in that first city. But overall, same thing with Dragon's Dogma 1. I didn't need a DLC, and I'm super happy that they're doing one. But honestly, Johnny, there's probably a very high chance the DLC is somewhat combat-based, as in shoved focused, and so I'll probably just play the original. Whenever I say I'm going to go back to Dragon's Dogma 1, I'm not going back to the Dark Arisen tower thing or the higher level area. I'm usually starting all over again, throwing some guys off cliffs. So that's just me. Everybody
I get that.
Different.
They were saying about 15 to 20 hours of gameplay on the DLC.
Awesome. Dude, did you see that the frickin' gameplay amount on... Wait a minute. Give me 1 second. I want to see who messaged me. Oh, okay. Just making sure that wasn't Silver. Did you see the amazing... oh, no. It just fled my brain. Oh, no. Say what you just said, because this is good news. I don't want to talk about it. Say what
Dark Arisen DLC, 15 to 20 hours duration.
Altars. The Altars DLC is huge. We had somebody in chat. Yeah, we had somebody in chat streaming it. And I was like, man, I think I've seen him. Iggy, right? Iggy? That you?
Right.
That you, Iggy? Yeah, I think it was Iggy. Iggy was streaming that in chat, and I think he's at 15 or 16 hours, which for a DLC, sorry, we don't see that a lot of times, or it's bloated. This isn't bloated. This is actual, this is a story. This has a ton of new mechanics. Awesome DLC. everything I've seen, I can say the people who are playing it say it's awesome. What I saw, awesome. But I will caveat that and say, yeah, I haven't got a chance to play it.
I
But
heard
I think it's
the
great.
actor talking about it, how they did a ton of different
Vocal
characters within characters. So
Yeah.
like if they had different junction points in his life, right, that would
Yes.
spin off, they can't have more. So now he had to like do all these different versions, and it was really cool the way he was explaining it. Like his brain was broken after that.
It's great because like they have versions where I'm making this part up because I don't know those characters, but they'll have versions where like you have to play the same scientist, but in this one, the scientist has seen some shit and has that. In this one, they haven't, and yet the entire game is going to be played out in either one of those. But then there's a later split where the person who's seen some shit could also, let's say, have a dating interest. And then the person who hasn't seen some shit has a dating interest. And now you have to do 4. Then you have to do 8. And because you have to get them all the way to the end. You can't merge them back.
Yeah.
Because the one person who, let's say, has seen some shit might deal with a romantic interest in a completely different way than somebody who hasn't seen some shit. It's awesome. That guy's very talented. The guy who did that, the voice acting for that, spot on. Yeah, spot on. I think he did a really good job with a lot of the inflections. And you know how I know? Because I hate some of those motherfuckers so much. I hate some of the characters in the altars, man. I hate them. There's a couple of those guys where I'm like, oh.
Some of the young versions.
You know it's good when you love them or hate them, right? If you're just apathetic, it's like, okay, maybe that's that character, but that's not how I felt in the altars. Yeah, it was great, man. Super happy for them, too. Great DLC. Spectacular DLC. I'm really, dude, whenever I see that size of DLC and shit like that, I'm just always so excited. Not because I'm even going to get it, but just because there won't be that combination of discussion that we have to sit through and regurgitate it consistently, which is like, yeah, it's, it's a money grab. Blah, blah, blah. It's got 600 hours of content. Something crazy like that. Some other news that I got, there was also some sales stuff I posted yesterday, and sadly enough, didn't get it in here today. Resident Evil as a series, or Resident Evil, this last game, $560 million.
Damn.
500. $500 million, dude. Or 1/10 of an Elon Musk. Right? At $1 trillion. That might be that's more than 1/10. Holy shit. $1 trillion's a lot of money. But anyway, yeah.
It's a shit ton.
$500
just trying to put the zeros in my head.
I was like as the gif of Galifianakis or whatever in the Hangover movie with all the mathematics going in the back of their head. $500 million is dude, crazy money though for Resident Evil. Crazy money. And a good game. Well worth it. I mean, like, I think that just goes to show.
For sure.
I mean, no wonder they're remaking, they're making new stuff. They're just fucking nailing it, man. And dude, Ubisoft, smart. Ubisoft looked at that and was like,
Resync, baby.
What, Microsoft? Gears of War shit, we've got remakes from them. Now we've got E-Day, but we've also got Halo. You can't tell me they didn't all look at Capcom and go.
True. And then smart. Fallout remakes.
And then Fallout. Yeah. Well, yeah, Bethesda though, man. Yeah. So, okay. So I guess what I'm saying is the difference between those is they add stuff to the game, like they're meatier. And I feel that the remakes or remasters for Bethesda are usually generically very, very low in their improvements.
But would you include, what's it called? The big one they did with Unreal 5.
Oblivion remastered?
Oblivion?
By the way,
wouldn't you call that a really
banger money?
Really big one?
Yeah, that's a big one.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's a big one. It's a big one, especially because it just had to have been a big one because of Unreal, right? It's just a big one,
yeah.
But that's not their pattern.
So you wouldn't expect something to that level, maybe, for the Fallout
from
ones?
Now, I think they will be. I think. But I'm going to go out on a limb and say I still don't believe. I think Unreal did the heavy lifting when I say it was a big remaster from them. I don't
Yeah.
think they did the heavy lifting when it comes to adjusting things for quality of life and really adding in stuff where Black Flag, you look at it and dude, I'm not the biggest Black Flag lover at all. And even I look at it, I'm like, damn, son. Like,
damn, yeah,
if you're
it's
gonna do
well
something,
put together.
yeah, if you're gonna do something,
Yeah.
go out. It's like somebody who's retired and they come back and you're like, yeah, it's gonna have lost a step. Not only have they not lost a step, they got 3 new types of serve, and you're just like, what the shit's going on here? You know, they're gonna win Wimbledon. So it's fucking,
Yeah.
to me, that's just,
I agree with
awesome,
that.
you know, despite
Also,
my other issues.
If they are making it's Skyrim 6, they said they're using the same engine, right? Isn't it? Did they speak about that?
You mean
like they're using the same engine for
they're using CryEngine. They're
the
using their version of the remade CryEngine, yeah.
their version. But then some of these remakes are in Unreal 5, which kind of looks better. So now the remakes are going to look better than
okay,
the
let
new
me
game they
point
make.
one thing out, because I know it's going to pop up, and I haven't seen it pop up in chat yet, but I know it's out there, and it's valid. The Oblivion remake has some technical issues that haven't been patched. So, and it's Unreal specific. So if you say it looks better, I would say, well, it's possible, but then you look at something like parts of Starfield, and you're like, wow, some of this really looks clean and really looks good. I'm not saying all of it. I'm saying just some of it. And you're like, there's a tit for tat here where Unreal did that.
It's not a
clear improvement where you can say this is 100% better.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not a lover of CryEngine, I am a lover of their games and their interaction. If they can figure out a way to get Unreal to sing, I would love for them to switch, because I also think mods and community growth is much easier on Unreal than it is on their own engine.
Yeah.
Like, imagine being able to, if it's an Unreal version of a game, dude, you're modding that thing to hell. Because there are people who have mod things that aren't even on mod files, you know, like programs and stuff, crazy shit you can do. Of course I would want that. I think also Skyrim, what's it called? Skyrim or Skyblivion or whatever, those kind of things would be easier on Unreal by 10 to 1 versus CryEngine. 10 to 1. Like, you would just imagine how much faster you'd be able to do it. Like, you would be able to do it, and you have all these developers, 10,000 developers, who are all the chapters of Space Marines, ready to salute and help you because they've all worked on fucking Unreal. And then you send out a call, and you're like, I need everybody who's worked on CryEngine. And some jackass who's like 76, working from home, answering phone calls for an insurance company, is like, I can help.
Yeah.
The level of support for Unreal from the
I really
devs
think
high.
that's a big deal. The longer we go forward, you know, because they got legacy support for that engine. But yeah, going forward, what I want to see is like fresh blood coming into these teams, and those are going to be Unreal 5 experts generally.
Yeah,
because that's the trend, you know.
Agreed. And then
I just.
Oh no, go for it. What were you gonna say?
I'm sorry. I just wanted to explain myself. I think Starfield looks good, but it gives me anxiety to think of them developing this new massive game, and then it's going to look very similar to the games we've had, and not maybe
I said CryEngine,
like a jump.
And I'm sorry. I said that. I was calling it CryEngine, Creation Engine. I apologize, guys. Sorry.
Yeah.
What were we gonna say?
Right. Creation. Yeah.
People are like, wait, what? Dude, CryEngine. Not CryEngine, please. Yeah. How about this? Not on. I'll have to make sure I put like a community note on the podcast, because that was like 4 minutes of me saying that, and somebody's going to lose their fucking mind. You'll have somebody be like, I fucking can't believe these two C's that were both engines got confused. I would not want Unity, and I would not want CryEngine if they were going. If they're going to go, I'd rather have it be Unreal, even though I don't like Unreal. It's resource requirements right now. They're pretty rough. Feels like we're all it feels like the people who are able to fix it. Gamebryo, I think, is also what it's called, right? I was legit searching to see if Creation was a spinoff of CryEngine. Yes.
They sound similar.
Yeah. Creation. We'll call
Creation.
it that.
Yeah.
I haven't heard CryEngine in years. Yeah, that's a long time ago. Did you guys see Squad Galactic Contention Unreal 5 gameplay Star Wars? Yeah, I did. Looked awesome. I think that's the mod, right? Or what game is that a mod for? Arsenal? Trying to remember.
Not sure.
Yeah, anyway, yeah, Unity, sorry, that's on me. Yeah, Unity CryEngine. Yeah, we wouldn't want that. What's the one that they spun off for Star Citizen? Lumberyard? Lumberyard, wouldn't want that. Do you know the only engine I think is up to the specs of Unreal but runs better are Ubisoft's engines? Division
Maybe they
2.
do a lot of the similar.
They do
yeah. The like world building interactions.
Yeah, they're. I mean, I don't know how easy they are to work with, and I don't think Ubisoft's ever sold an engine to anybody or licensed an engine. Probably.
What about
sense.
the one that Guerrilla Games uses? Is that Decima? Could that work? Guerrilla Games from Horizon.
Yeah.
Is that a proprietary
them and Death Stranding. Horizon
Yeah, those are not open, right?
I don't know. I like that engine, but I just don't know what it's capable of in I don't know, because it depends on the type of game, man. You get some of these games that are remembering a billion items and where they're put, like Skyrim. And it requires something completely different than a game that's, like a linear shooter, even if the linear shooter's graphics look just fantastic, stuff like that. So, Ubisoft has some financial issues. A bit surprised they haven't offered their engine for lease. Yeah, I don't know if you heard me. I was saying, I wonder if they have a bunch of their business information in that engine, meaning just that it's so packed in that people have used it for other stuff, or there's just a lot that they would have to curb out to stop.
Yeah.
Far Cry is on CryEngine, isn't? No, Far Cry, and now Far Cry has moved on. Far Cry is on Division 2's engine, so that's awesome now. That's why I think people should be. I don't like the idea of what I'm hearing about Far Cry at all, but if Ubisoft decides to do a resync, and I did hear one rumor, and I don't think this. I don't know. You'll hear somebody else say this is true, and it'll probably turn out to be true, and I'll never get sourced, so I'm fine with that. But I did hear that there was a plan to do a resync of either Far Cry 2 or another Far Cry. That would be very cool. That would be very cool. But I think when you hear those rumors, it's like people get in a room and they say, can we do this? Yeah, let's put that on the list of things we can do. And then it becomes, this is for sure happening. And it's like, no. Decima is another one that is fairly impressive, really impressive. Yeah. I would agree.
But I agree with you when you compare what happens in a Death Stranding. Just there isn't that much going on, compared to all the items and everything, like places, people,
and their
stuff
physics
like that.
Engines may be the way they handle physics may be completely possible in one game, and then you try to roll that out to NPCs in another game, and now you're running at 3 FPS because it's super. Maybe it's super detailed in one or something like that. Yeah. What else we got for good news? I just saw A1 Nagel wrote this. He says, while I passed on the Steam machine, it does make me want to experiment and put Bazide or Steam OS on my desktop. The nudges and calls to action built into Windows have felt extremely annoying. Any non-Windows OS to recommend? So I can't. So you say gaming. I will say one thing. I was messing around. Not a big fan, to be brutally honest, of any of those because of what I do. But I will say I installed Mint, one of the 50,000 branches. I installed Mint. That was super fast. Cannot vouch for its gaming performance. There's also one called Cache OS, and I think Amudsky was talking that up for performance, but again, I can't speak for it. I wouldn't try a non-Windows OS that wasn't Bazite or Steam OS if I were you, or one of those. That you sort of have 3 or 4 to try. Mint was fine. But it had all of the problems with Linux I've always had and will never probably be able to get away from. But also, here's something really weird. Now, you use Windows and Linux, right? For different stuff, Johnny? or are you just mostly
I use Linux for work only, and it's like terminal stuff.
So I got to tell you, man, I have Windows on 6 machines. I don't get any reminders of any type, and I don't get any nudges, and I have Pro on all of them. None.
You don't get the ones like when it updates, it says like, hey, you know, register your shit here, like sync your device, but
no.
That type of
I get okay. Do you know what I get? Your device is gonna, because I've chosen to update, I'll get a little, because the mood scan, I've talked about this. We have spent so many hours late night trying to figure out what settings people have when they get a certain thing in an Xbox or a PlayStation, or in this case, Windows. I have my updates. I think I delay them a little bit because you never know with an update on any OS, by the way. And then I get the shield, and it's got the circle. It's got the circle with the little squiggles, which means you have an update to do. I hit restart, and then it says, don't turn off system while updating, and then it updates to my sign-on, and I sign in. That is it. I don't even know what the other things would be. What would you even get? By the way, I'm not saying he doesn't get them. He obviously does. But I'm saying what, because I must have them off. Now, maybe I've turned off, because I do turn off things like I don't need fancy windows. I don't need shadows and transparencies. So maybe I've just shut them off.
A lot of stuff is because you have it off. They will, at that point when you sign in, they will say, oh, you want to turn on like file sync with the, what's it called? The Windows native
OneDrive?
OneDrive.
Okay.
Do you want to, sync your phone? Can we share your data for
Bro, I don't get
to
any
improve
of that,
your experience?
Ever. I've never got a request to share data.
Yeah.
Now, I can tell you, no, because you know what? I just realized that wasn't Windows that did this other request I was going to say. It's actually a program I have. I don't know. Because I believe them. I'm just trying to figure out, is it because I have Pro or whatever maybe there's a home version and a Pro, or what I have on, but I have a cell phone, right? Or we call them phones now. I don't know how we still call them cell phones.
Yeah, yeah, we do.
Turn it on. I don't get any requirement to connect it or anything. Now, I probably do say don't connect to things because I'm just a firm believer and I don't want random things connected into the PC for performance. And because you and I are talking, if I do, you know what's happened. If this goes off my phone, then we have an issue with the Discord. We'll lose the picture. So I do have those off, and I probably have them off in the phone. But yeah, I'd be interested. Anyway, I do believe you. I'm just saying, this has been something that's actually I feel is annoying because it comes across as if I don't have issues with it. I have a ton of issues with every OS I use, including Windows. I just told Johnny, and I've just told other people, I've used fucking Claude to fix random shit on an old program. You could say that's Windows or not. But so I definitely have my own issues with all these, but I don't get if I got random nudges and calls to action while I was using my desktop, I would be so mad because I'm recording. I'm recording 90% of what I do on my PC. If that fucking thing put an overlay up on my PC, you guys would be in here with me right now, and I would be on the opposite end of this, and I would be so mad.
I know.
That dude, if you get an alert while you're recording, that is the most frustrating thing in the world. And do you know what gives me those? NVIDIA itself will pop up something. It'll come across and it'll be, it'll do that little alert. So
it's only when you sign in, so it's not as bad as that.
I mean, I reboot now.
What do you think of if someone's gonna put Bazite on and just do their gaming through the Proton thing? Do you recommend that?
I think that there are some positives to it, especially performance, but I do think that there are a ton of negatives if you use your PC for anything else and you have Windows apps, or you're trying to connect stuff and there's no compatibility, which I have run into because I've tried these and I've installed them. I've still got one installed as a side load. I think that's highly useful, but I don't think it's a thing that you can sell people as being a perfect one-off. I don't think either one are perfect, in the same way that if you ever hear me talking to somebody, I will never, ever try to sell you a Mac. Ever. I fucking hate Macs. I hate Macs because they do shit purposely, obscurely, because they want to be different. Every experience I've had with a Mac has been overly negative. But I'm not going to sit here and say that my wife, who has one, Reg, who's got one, doesn't have a great experience with them. I think that's the problem with OSs. In the same way Unreal gives different people issues, I think OSs are so complex now that, like, it's very difficult to suggest anything. It's very difficult to suggest somebody use a store. It's very difficult to suggest somebody think that the Xbox is going to show you the game you're looking for, or the PlayStation will, because the shit just doesn't work all the time. And it sucks, but I would say try it out. I mean, it's fun to. It's not going to do anything as long as you make sure not to install over Windows, or if you have a blank system, to just try it out. Right?
Yeah, you can dual boot.
Yeah, you can dual boot quite easily. I have a dual boot into the safety backup that I made on my own now, and dual booting's so easy on these systems now. I would suggest everybody have a recovery dual boot. Those recovery dual boots are like the magic of magic. We've had issues prior to the podcast, like 15, 20 minutes prior, and I've had an issue and just hit a button and reverted to the day before and been like, okay, we're good. I can worry about that later. Yeah, sweet shit.
Nice.
Like when people keep getting Discord notifications. Yeah, turn off your Discord notifications, people. Come on, man.
Yes.
Come on, man. Turn them off. We don't want to hear them because I hear them through your headset all the time. And it always sounds like you're surfing Pornhub. Every goddamn time I hear ding, and I'm like, dude, what are you doing? There's a bunch of guys in here. Soli says, what's a quest that you will never forget? Mine is why call them back from retirement, from the outer worlds, where you go underground to the early retirement center in Byzantium to discover the board is secretly executing the old folks with automechs. Man, I still think about that quite often. That is a fantastic quest. Bloody Baron for me in Witcher 3.
Yeah, that one's so iconic.
It's amazing.
I still remember it vividly to this day, which is pretty rare.
So good. Yeah. And GTA's got some great ones. I think GTA nails you're playing an action adventure movie, and some of those quests are fucking legit. But
yeah,
Bloody Baron, this one is good. Like there was one or two in Cyberpunk. Hey, listen, I'm going to say something positive about Cyberpunk. I'm going to say it. There's one or two quests in Cyberpunk that ain't bad, that are actually really good. There's one or two in the expansion that are fantastic. So that's it. That's the most I can say. That's positive. That's it. That's all you're getting. Knucklehead says, a brush with death from Oblivion, where you go inside a paint. Oh my God, I forgot that quest. Okay, that's on my list. That's fucking number 3. It's called A Brush with Death. If anybody has played this, especially in the remake, dude, it's one of the best quests. It's in Oblivion. You go inside a painting and fight watercolored textures trolls. And that is one of the greatest surprising quests I've ever played in a game. Sweet. I'm glad somebody... Dude, I would never, ever, ever have remembered that. That would have been one of those ones that, it would have never come up in my head again. That's a great one. For Whom the Bell Tolls. I don't...
Metallica reference.
Yeah. I don't remember.
Did you do the Corpo quest line in Starfield, the Ryujin one?
Great quests. So listen.
Great quest line.
Let's go with the hottest take of hot takes by Abzy in 2025 when that came. No, 2024 when that came out. I think Starfield was 2024. Could be wrong. Abzy, quotation marks. Better than any cyberpunk quest. That's what he thought of the Ryujin quests. And I was like, damn, hot words, but I got to agree. I thought the Ryujin quests were a step above every other quest and actually felt more cyberpunkish than many quests you get in a Deus Ex or a Cyberpunk.
You really had the Corpo fantasy that you never had in Cyberpunk.
Yep.
Because Cyberpunk, you start and, you have the beginnings of a premise depending on the faction you choose, but it's really like shallow.
Yep. Absy, has got some hot takes sometimes, but that one, I was like, that one made perfect sense. I
Makes
got
sense.
what he said. Rip Absy.
They got some good quests.
Once you get married, you're dead to me. Rip Absy. Go ahead. What were you saying, Johnny?
No, they got some good quests in Cyberpunk that are memorable to this day, but I would say I probably agree with that. Like that fantasy, the corporal fantasy was super well done.
Dude, so good.
Just
Okay,
climbing
everybody,
the ladder.
I want more of yours in chat. Go.
What do we got?
The Dark Brotherhood, I think is what he says. The Dark Brotherhood quest line from Oblivion was great. Yeah, it was awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Starfield was 2023. Okay, I was right. Damn.
God damn.
Time flies, man. I knew you pre-COVID. I knew you pre-COVID. I knew you. When did I first meet you? When did you and I first meet? 2000.
At least 10 years ago. 16.
Holy shit, 2016, 2000. Yeah. Okay, gotcha. Yeah.
15 maybe.
Dude, that's crazy.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah. It's pretty nuts we haven't killed each other. We haven't like jumped on a plane and killed each other.
True.
I mean, dude, I guess that just shows the distance makes a heart grow fonder. It's really, it's like,
that is the key to our friendship. We live very far away. Very far away.
Burrow says, Layer of the Shadow Broker, Mass Effect. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Sure. Was that the DLC? Or?
Yeah, that was the DLC. Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, there were a lot of quests in Mass Effect that were good. I actually think a lot of the quests themselves in Mass Effect 1 were some of the better ones across the Mass Effect series.
Probably,
I know that mechanics-wise, there were issues there, but yeah. LOL, Rip Absy, real life ends with marriage. That's for sure. That's true, right? Real life ends with marriage. What's up, Fresler? That was a good question. Johnny put up giant space mirrors. Or actually, we'll cover a couple more of the game stuff, and then we'll go to that. So,
let's do it.
Tangentially related to good games, because we haven't played it yet, but it might be good. Tomb Raider Chronicles, Amazon Game Studios reportedly is going to delay that till 2028.
Damn. 28. Shit. Get your health in order, folks.
No shit, man. You guys got to start, man. You got to start putting on some lean mass.
Let's get the meal prep going. Eating clean.
You got to get those macros. We got to make it. Dude, somebody was joking about that. They're like GTA, 2027 or whatever. I'm like, listen, man, I have no clue if I'll be alive. I'm gonna play it on the consoles because got to get that out.
True.
You have no clue what's gonna happen.
Yeah, gotta tick that box.
And then. So I want to talk about something, and you guys can disagree completely, as you always do. Feel free, but I want to mention sort of a news blurb, and then I want to tell you something that I've heard, and I want to know what you think, especially Johnny. Okay, so here we go. IGN posted this. PlayStation Network back online after outage causes PSN users to lose access to their game for hours. Okay? So, and then we had Halo, which wasn't letting people play the premiere version of Halo early, even though they had bought it. Okay? So, we got two issues there. You've got two games that have gone online, and maybe one's contentious, one's not. And then they couldn't connect. PlayStation as a whole wasn't connecting, so that's a big deal. And we know that people are pretty heated about the digital physical. And I want to point out that I'm not bringing this up just because of that. In fact, I think this has been going on for quite a while. We know because some people have admitted to doing it years ago. Do you start to feel like whenever an online game that has any kind of contention is announced, that there is an outside factor, like DDoSs and stuff, that are on purpose to prove a point about the company versus like just a random chance that some of these games, especially like you got Ubisoft lost their, they went down a little bit. We get companies that go down all the time. But either it's happening now, and we know it's happened in the past. We've had hacker groups say they DDoSed Xbox Live and stuff like that. But with Fable being so easy to use and GPT being so easy to use, and now we know there's all these routers that are out there right now that are easily botnetted with a single download to run it. One of the new hacking programs is so easy to run that it's literally on a website, and you just download it and aim it at stuff, and it does it.
Oh, wow.
If you wanted to prove a point, digital versus physical.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
I don't even want to talk it into being because we know it's happened in the past. So I'm not talking into being. I'm just saying I'm starting to feel sometimes like the timing is a bit opportune in some particular situations. Not this one. This just reminded me of what I wanted to discuss with you. And that it will just get worse, right? It's just going to get worse.
I think as well, you know that thing where once you're aware of something, you start noticing way more?
Yeah, you buy a Beetle, you see it everywhere.
You see it everywhere, right?
Yeah.
So it's that kind of thing where now every time an online game has that issue, you're going to have in the back of your mind like, oh, I don't truly own this game. I can't play it, you know. And I think that's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
It's really, really unfortunate.
Yeah. By the way, I want physical games too. So it's not even a defense of that. Like I
did look at the numbers, and it does make sense from a business standpoint.
Of why they're paring it down.
Why they are paring it down, because it is a small number, right, of like physical format enjoyers compared to the hubbub, let's say. It kind of gets amplified a bit, but
here's the thing, dude. They also have
people buy.
Sony in particular has some of the shittiest return policies known to man. Like, why do you do one thing without, like, it really bothers me.
Yeah.
Well, first of all, I understand, especially now when you look at the cost of these things, why maybe it'd be an external reader, like, you know, an external device to read your CDs or read your Blu-rays in this case, which I think should happen. Or I just think it should, because that also would allow for possible backwards compatibility, all that shit. But, dude, it's terrible. Their return policy, their policies, their desire to ban you if you want to do more than one return. They don't have that shit nailed down at all. Microsoft, admittedly, this might be one place where I would say they are slightly better. They still have their issues. They had the thing where they banned the guy from the account on Twitter. I can't remember his name, unfortunately. I apologize. But he had a big hubbub, got it fixed, supposedly. Microsoft has their issues, but I would say when you look at these, Microsoft is probably better than the other two, than Nintendo and Sony. And yet we don't hear them even reaching out to say this is like, we're making these improvements. And they need to figure it out. I don't know. I don't like Steams. I think Steams, we just saw one of the indie devs say here recently that they had a ton of returns because the game was short and speedrunners got through it. I think this certain hours thing is really dangerous, because what if you do a short game, or you do a Telltale game where you have an hour and a half and an hour and a half, right? That's really going to suck, because if they could just keep returning the chapter or find a way around it, you know? So, there's no return system that's perfect. Physical was probably the only perfect one.
Yeah.
In the fact that you bought it for $59.99, and if it was in the case and the disc was there, they didn't say, well, we'll give you 20. It was like, here's your money back.
I think also as a strategy, it would have been better to do like more the carrot rather than the stick.
Yeah.
So instead of cutting the supply of physical items, let's make digital just way better. So like maybe we're going to have more sales. You know, there's going to be a good return policy. There's going to be like safety stuff where like if something goes wrong, you can get help, right? That kind of thing. And just make it more convenient, way more convenient than physical. You're still going to have a small number of people who want the physical, but that's going to phase out over time. And then at that point, if you do want to cut it out, it's a much lesser blow. That, you know, it's a lesser like knee jerk reaction.
I mean, dude, it's all stick. Like I said, I mean, I don't get it. If they're already making plans and you're talking to fabs and you're saying we don't need your readers and we don't need your chips for this and blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, that's a known fact. How about this? Fix your shit. Because your shit sucks. Yeah. Fix your security. Fix the stuff that caused people to lose accounts. Fix that. I know that I saw people saying, I can't believe, Carrick, that you didn't do a video or whatever. And I was like, well, in all honesty, my video would probably have not been about the physical versus digital, because it would start like this. I really want physical discs to continue, but let me talk about the thing that actually bothers me, which is the fucking refunds, because that actually bothers me more, because I do know that that battle's sort of lost in the sort of the Gennaro style, where things have already been going digital, or at least it's a battle of attrition there. But the refunds, the things that are there to build in to back up a consumer who's buying something that is intangible, it's bits somewhere, that needs to be taken care of before you make some giant, massive, sweep. And you know what's going to happen, dude. If there's no physical versions, they're going to, number one, they're killing the used games market. They wanted to do it for years. By the way, anybody who doesn't know this, go back and talk to some. There are insiders who were generally like pretty open about this. That when Microsoft announced the Xbox One with its weird ownership thing, that was in actuality like where everybody was eyeing going at one point. It was like, okay, how do we do ownership, blah, blah, blah. At least they were thinking towards that. Admittedly, it got kiboshed, and should have, because it wasn't ready. But Sony was planning to as well. And here we are. It's so easy for people to hold these companies up like babies, man. Like fucking some Lion King, lion cub, and be like, oh, it's so precious. No, they're not. And when we ever hear the shit about the CEOs and stuff like that, I'm like, yeah, we hate the CEOs. Great, whatever. We're always going to hate the CEOs. But I'm not going to waste my time hating that CEO, because that's de facto. That's already done. What I hate is any company, Microsoft, Nintendo, Sony, SoundCloud, whatever, anybody doing this digital stuff, if they don't have basic ways in which to protect your account, not get them two-factor authenticate hacked, which Sony basically is using a spaghetti sieve for their fucking firewall somehow. Because, dude, Jesus Christ.
That's true.
The number of people who get
guys.
Fuck them, man. Dude, and they lied, by the way, actively lied about getting hacked. You got to fix your shit before you beat somebody to death with a stick, You got to maybe fatten them up a little bit, and we haven't had none of that. I don't even know where they're going with it. I don't think they've said anything. Somebody can respond to me in chat if you've heard them say anything about how they're going to lift up the digital side. Also, screw them with the cost, man. This digital shit, we talked about this 9 years ago in the podcast. I did go back and look. Digital should be cheaper than physical. They've sold us on physical being more expensive. You can't magically then pretend like that's changed and somehow physical and digital cost the same. It's digital, dude. It needs to be like $10 cheaper. So if you want a physical version and it's whatever the price is now, $69.79, the digital version needs to be at least $10 cheaper. Day one, not a sale. That's the cost. I don't want to hear some bullshit about this is a sale and it'll go away. I'm saying that price needs to be...
You literally don't have to manufacture something
yes,
for the digital
or
version.
shipping or worry about any of that.
That has to show up in the price.
And somehow. That's an anti-leak situation, meaning it's harder to, of course, leak or hack something if there's no physical. So you're also getting a bonus from that. Your game isn't going to be hacked on BitTorrent or something like that.
Yeah, a little more carrot, less stick.
The price thing blows me away. That it blew me away. It blew me away the first time a digital game came out, where I was like,
so fuck it, same price.
Same price. What are you guys doing? Yeah, and there has been times, I will admit, there has been times some companies have done a price difference. But I'm going to be honest, I feel like most of the time that happened, it was like sale 10%. Like, it didn't feel like it was for sure all the time, if that makes sense. It was like, it felt like that rug could be pulled out from under you at any time. But
yes, at any moment.
Yeah. That bothers me. It also, secondhand stores, does that bother me? I mean, I have empathy for people like losing jobs and stuff like that, but I only have so much empathy, so mine only goes so far. Like I have empathy for these groups, this group. It sucks. But I have seen a lot of the stuff I like going digital, and So there's a little bit of like, well, some of this is the future, but physical should always be there, especially right now with the X or the whatever, the Helix and the Switch 6. Sorry, PlayStation 6. I think both of those should just have discs because there's enough games. They're probably going to be backwards compatible, so why not just have the disc? Even if the disc has to go on and download, just have the disc player be an extra. I think it
and
should
for
be
a
in
lot
there,
of people, it's the only media player they have, if
That
they have
too.
Blu-rays or something.
Yeah. And a lot of people I mean, we can agree Blu-ray's got a better bit rate than any stream. So obviously, if you like movies, that'll be your player, right?
Does it really? Like compared to
it's
Netflix or
Yeah, especially with HDR and Dolby Digital Disney Atmos 5.6 Aqua Lens, whatever the fuck they're calling all these fake. You know me, man. Like I see a lot of these companies releasing a new audio codec, and you're like, come on, bullshit, man. They're all hoping for the next certification charge, but yeah, man. I mean, that part sucks, man. There's just no recourse for the consumer on an account steal. That's really hard. Like,
that's brutal. Lose your account.
But dude, can you listen? I brought this up today and got a lot of silence. You go into your account and somebody's stolen it, right? And you've signed in successfully many times from your IP with your address and your information. And then you call the company and you say, well, it's pretty fucking obvious somebody stole it because it's all switched. I want it back. This is all my data. And you give them all that data. And they still have refused to give people's accounts back. And I'm like, it's very odd to me because those companies would have a record of every sign-in. And if your sign-in is now in fucking Taiwan, and you're reporting...
Isn't that a little suspicious?
And you're reporting from the same IP address originally, and you're not supposed to sell accounts, meaning they could also, they could be like, well, yeah, we're going to undo the sale, or if that is what it is, and we're going to return it back to you and deal with it as you will. Instead, they're just like, yeah, we're not giving your account back. And that has happened to multiple people. That is real. I've seen that actually happen. It's happened with EA as well. And you're like, okay, how is it possible you guys don't have the ability to like look and go, well, that's fucked up. Like,
it's pretty obvious. Like some random Kazakhstan access to your account
or have a temporary situation where you're like, okay, what we're going to do is we are going to switch it for, whatever, a week. Sign in I don't know, work them through some situations where the person who hacked it is required to do some shit, to get it back. Because we've also had the repeat hackers where somebody gets hacked. This happened with a YouTube channel I saw. They got hacked. They got their shit fixed. Literally was hacked again. By the time they were signed in, the person had already most likely had a bot that immediately checked that and then repopped them out and retook over the account, and they had to go to YouTube and blah blah blah.
Wow.
So, yeah. There's no. It's all stick, man. It's all stick. It sucks. Sucks for people. Let's see. Slew 8399. Welcome to Supporter Digital Access, Discord access. Sorry, it's in green and white. That's hard to read. If you get a chance, check your account. You should be able to sign into the Discord using that. I think you have to make sure that your emails are the same, but most people have no issue getting in right away. If you do have an issue, you can always
drop us a message.
Yeah. Oregon says, if you two were in the new Virtual Fighter, what would be your unique attack? Fucking answer right away, man. Headbutt to the dick. Without a doubt. So you know how people stand up and do a spin kick, or they stand up and punch?
Oh, yeah.
If I got knocked down, I would do like a spin and then press off, headbutt to the nuts.
Boom.
That would be my special attack. And it would be gnarly. We're not talking like a normal headbutt. We're talking about like E-Honda flying across a screen in Street Fighter. Like fucking...
Well, you stole mine, because I was thinking of my aerodynamic head.
Oh, yeah, you got
would be great for a head. I got some speed.
Yeah, you got the speed. Yeah, you got the faster head.
Yes. Yeah.
That sounds... There's no way to say it otherwise.
It did sound terrible. Let's move on.
Anyway,
from there.
Yeah, that would be my special move. Good question. Good question. Vapor says, sometimes he says, he's sitting back, he's leaning back just in his boxer shorts, and he says, sometimes I feel like I want to go live in a cottage in the mountains somewhere. Dude, I
that
don't
sounds
know, man.
great.
It sounds great.
Yeah, because you've been to some cottages.
I've been to some cottages, and I'm telling
Yeah.
you, it always sounds great until the ticks
The
and the
idea is
fleas
great.
and the cold food and you got to outfit your cabin, man. It's basically got to be a house in the woods that's just like your house, but in the woods. And then why would you go to the woods in the first place? To get away from real people? I feel like a couple, bungee traps, maybe a couple, good bear traps will stop people from coming to your front door pretty quickly. Like if the mailman passes by the DHL
This
guy.
is why people don't visit you.
This is why.
Carrick.
Dude, I'm telling you, I told you, if the zombies attack, I have a plan on exactly who I am going to make sure is wounded so that they eat them first. You got a plan.
You probably don't even need to do too much because it's all ready. The traps are ready. Like your food supply is there. Are you like a prepper?
I wasn't.
You got like a full.
I wasn't.
Setup,
I severely changed when we lost power for 7 or 8 days, whatever that was. I definitely changed.
That was crazy.
Yeah, because we had to take care of the animals, and Lau, prior to him passing away, he was super sick. He was devastatingly ill during that time, and it looked like a fucking Calcutta gutter in here. It was a disaster. It was a biohazard because he was sick. And he was in bad shape, and we had to get him to the hospital. There was a bunch of shit. When we got done, I looked like the Unabomber. It was a fucking nightmare. So when we got done,
that was a journey.
I had always had some boxes and bug out bags, which is what let us get through this. But what was great about it is it taught me I was missing a ton of shit. And by the way, that's the same thing. You can learn how to fight in a martial arts class, but until somebody punches you in the face, you have no clue what it's like.
Because you had the generator.
No, I didn't. That was one of the things I didn't have. No, you know why? Because I did exactly what all of us red-blooded Americans, probably anybody who lives in a place with generally electricity that's delivered on time, you think you're only going to be out for a day or two. We're out for 7 days.
Right.
By the 5th day, I was like, all right, it's the apocalypse for sure. Never coming back on, and I'm going to have to defend the house to the tip.
Dude, after the 3rd day without power, I would be like, okay, I don't know how to... Yeah.
So I changed all that kind of stuff, put it together, and was like, okay, this is my plan, and bought some stuff that I really did learn generators are hyper useful. The food thing, we had just bought $300 worth of food, and I lost every cent. That was a huge financial hit because, as you know, I do have some nice green screened pictures up behind me, but I'm not living in fucking, in some mansion somewhere. Yeah. So I did. I got, the generator and stuff like that. And I think everybody should. I think everybody should have a couple meals stored away. If you have animals, you should certainly make sure. Like, sometimes my wife will be like, oh, yeah, I'm going to go get food tomorrow. And I'm like, well, we only have enough for right now. So, like, if it were to snow or whatever, now you're like, now we're all eating from the human side, for a little while.
Let's go get some food.
I'm a big planner on making sure we have a little bit just sort of sitting around. Do you know which of your friends you would be suspicious would turn on you in a zombie scenario? No. My friends know to come here. I can honestly say that. We did have people who were like, hey, if this continues, can I come there? And that was even when we were sort of not set up correctly. Yeah. No. Yeah. My friends would not have to worry. They could come here. I would exert a toll. They would be chopping some wood. They would be They would be like feeding the dog. You got to put them to work because idle hands.
Sure.
Got to get them to work.
Fair.
Put them outside on the Conan fucking
help with the
wheel
cooking
of woe, pushing the
Oh my god!
grinder.
Yeah, like in Mordor.
yeah, dude. They show up and they're like, but there's not even flour in there. I'm like, yeah, just push that fucking thing anyway. Let's see. It was a zombie apocalypse with the Return of the Living Dead zombies. There's really no point in trying to survive, dude. There's always a point in trying to survive, man. Always. Is Starlink the only good internet service for mountain areas? I think Starlink works pretty well for a lot of people in mountain areas. We have people in the Discord who use it quite often, but I can't speak for it. Unfortunately, sorry. I don't know. Like, if it's the greatest or not. Kel says, you've been doing this whole podcast and reviewing thing for a few minutes now. Please reflect on your experiences. Even with all your experience, what do each of you wish you could do better? What have you accomplished that you're the most proud of? What are you hoping to improve upon in the months and years to continue? What about the experience has surprised you? Go ahead, Johnny, because you're doing it all. No, you've reviewed. You've done your League of Legends huge videos. So,
Mhm.
as the premier streamer on the ACG podcast, as the number one draw, as the
Yeah,
name everybody knows,
I've
what have you
I've
learned?
been streaming for a lot of years, maybe 8 years. I've been
Damn,
streaming quite regularly,
that's hot.
and it's changed over time what I stream or what I do and stuff. But I think I learned that not everybody's cut out for it because clearly, I didn't, let's say, succeed in the way that I wanted, but I succeeded in other ways in like finding some really cool people that I wouldn't have otherwise have found, made some great friends in the process. And I think for me, that turned out to be the really valuable thing at the end of the day. Not what I wanted originally, because I did want originally to become or be able to do like maybe part-time
Right.
at my main job and then do like a side thing. And that's never really flourished to that level. But yeah, I would say connecting with people that like the same kind of stuff but live in completely different parts of the world and I wouldn't have met otherwise has been the greatest thing that I'm proud of.
Yeah. I don't really know what I know my goal was to I never had I guess my financial goal was to see if I could do it from the amount of money I needed to live.
Yep.
And then I mean, I had specific
Did you have
goals,
a number in your mind? Like, did you want to hit when you hit the 1 million? Was that like a really big milestone that you were
I've never made
thinking of?
You mean subscribers? I thought you meant
subscribers.
Fuck, man. I was like, dude, I haven't made a
$1
tenth of a million, let alone. No, not at all. In fact, I think when I got to like 2,000, I remember we had to switch a channel, so we lost all of our subscribers. I made the new channel. We still didn't know. I didn't even know if I was going to do it like forever. So I was like Angry Centaur Gaming. People were really mad at that name. But that just goes to show you that like sometimes you make a name, you have no clue what you're doing with it. So that just sort of popped up. And then I remember getting 2,000 subscribers. But I will say, I think the best moment I've had was seeing the subscribers from Dragon Ball Z, the review, Destiny 2, and maybe one or two others. When I went into my email and I remember showing my wife, I was like, look at this. And we were watching and it was like, blank is subscribed, blank is subscribed. Every minute was like, blank is subscribed, 7, blank, meaning 7 were in the same minute. And it was like 30, same minute. And I was like, what the fuck is going on? Like, that's insane. Because I'd never seen that before. I'd seen subscribe, but like when I posted one, for whatever reason, some of those caught on. And then my best goal is the one I've met, which is to not change at all. Even though it pisses people off, I'm sure I've had people say, oh yeah, I want whatever. I want Eric, and especially in podcasts, they'll be like, I want this or that. And I'm like, seriously? The moment I change, things change around you. So for me, the best is that there'll be changes if we want, but it's like, instead of cashing in like that change and hoping for the best, I've been like, dude, what's fun? What doesn't cause me some kind of family angst where I work too much? That's a problem. But for the most part, the goal has just been to have a good time with everybody. And I've found that if I have a good time, I want to review. And if I have a good time, I want to be in Discord. And if I have a good time, we have a good time in Discord. And if I have a good time, we have a good time in a random chat, or I have a good time with comments on YouTube or what. So it's like, to me, having a good time. Listen, man, I mean, people they can be like, oh, he's lying, blah, blah, blah. You see me at fucking events? No, you do not. And it's not because I'm gone. It's because they're not the same thing. They're like, it's a bunch of networking. It's like, let's all get together and talk to other YouTubers and network. And I'm like, I would rather talk to a YouTuber and like them. I'm not saying you can't like somebody you network with, because you can, And I have, but there's something that I think it makes more sense to say like you for a year or so and then want to do something with you than wanting to do something with you and hoping I like you, if that makes sense. I like try to invert it. And it's been awesome. And not changing, people were so mad about it. Like, oh, you need to change this or that. And I'm like, nah, not really. I mean, I'll change to add data to a review, but like the other kind of stuff, I'm not going to change for numbers ever.
That's interesting because over the years, I think you're one of the only reviewers, people in that space that I see on YouTube that hasn't had either like a meltdown, a breakdown, or like burnout.
Yeah, true.
Like, you know, a lot of these other reviewers have had big videos where they were like, listen, I'm burnt out. I'm going to stop, or I'm going to take a massive break, that kind of thing. It became so common at some point that was like an actual subgenre in YouTube of videos, you know?
I know. That's sad, right? That's rough.
It is.
I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Also, I
think you put together a system where you can do other stuff. So it's not, you're not, and you're doing what you want to do effectively in terms of what games you want to play. It's not like you're being forced to play League of Legends. Although someday, Carrick, it will happen.
I told you I don't change. It's not going to happen. I'm just joking. It may. I mean, we may do I will tell you one thing that has popped up is I've been seeing a lot of people with a good amount of success, whether it be for subscribers or just engagement, where they're like, listen, if we get, I don't want to say the thumbs up because that sounds like Rad Brad, who I have no issue with. I think he's very smart. But, you know, if I get this many.
Part one.
If I get 100,000 thumbs up, I'll do part 2, maybe. Right. But there have been some people that I've watched that have done some really good interactions in that way, which is like, you know, will Carrick play League of Legends if we do this? But can I tell you, I still have. If there is anything, I'm unaffected. Somebody can call me a name. Don't give a fuck. Somebody can say you're a liar. Don't fucking care like that. But do you know what does get me a little bit? The idea of doing something and having it not be useful or entertaining. So when I think of, I'm going to play League of Legends with Johnny, entertaining is one thing, but entertaining and in some way doing something is another, which is why I pull back on those. Because there have been, for example, streaming. Like, I could stream and just bitch about everything. Doesn't mean I won't stream tomorrow, by the way. Doesn't mean I won't post a video tomorrow. But I could do that and make bank. By just being like, we need to talk blank. Make a ton of money. But I do have anxiety when it comes to, is this useful? That really actually is the only anxiety. I was thinking about it a couple days ago because I don't feel it like anxiety, because I get anxiety over fighting somebody. Like, you're in martial arts and you're going to spar tonight and you want to make sure you do well. That's real. That's physical. I could get hurt. So to me, that's up here. The anxiety of making sure a video is useful is way down here, but it's still there. And I didn't even know I was feeling it until one day, a couple years ago, I looked at a video and I was like, why didn't I do that video, man? I don't understand. I have notes on the video. I know exactly what I want to say, and it's super fast. I just hit record. I don't even need to read. I don't read from stuff. So it's like, why am I not doing it? And then I realized it was because I had anxiety about that, like big anxiety over, is it useful? Which is weird because it's just a review, but I mean, even a preview, is it useful? Dude, I just sat on a preview for a while and I had to look at it and I was like, you know what? This preview is not very useful. So I'm just not going to do it.
Not to psychoanalyze
which
you,
is
but
weird.
Would it be bad if you make a video, you still have fun making it, but turns out to not be that useful to people? Does that?
It would bother me.
What?
It would kill me. It would kill me.
Okay.
And that's not saying they're all useful, but if I have somebody, I just had somebody who said, I didn't know you did the walking the walks. And I saw one where you were talking about no HUD. Oh, they were in our Patreon. And they said, I saw your thing about no HUD and I've never heard of that. I just started watching the channel last couple of years. I don't think you've covered it. And he wasn't a podcast watcher. And he's like, I saw no HUD, so I decided never thought about doing this. I'm going to go play a game no HUD. And he said, I just experienced 3 games I had already played and never had a desire to replaying all the way through. That is useful. That is like, oh, damn, that's so cool. So those kind of things are great. But yeah, I get really nervous about the splattering out of content. And even for you and I, there have been times where I'm like, dude, what did I say about some of the streams? Even you'd be like, hey, do you want to stream this event? And I'd be like, because I'd be like, what are we going to do? It'd be our tiny faces down in the lower left corner. I'm not going to say channels, but like, you know, where they're basically getting super chats because their face is on the screen. That's fucking, I'd rather die. That's not even my money. That's not even game. Remember, I was mad because Game Awards were getting cash in super chats. And I was like, why are they getting cash? Why are you giving cash to the fucking Game Awards?
It's not their awards.
Go
What's going on?
Yeah, go to the developer, man. What the hell is happening? Doesn't mean I won't do it. Sorry, my mustache is itching my nose like crazy. I got to shave this fucking thing. Or pare it down. I'm not going to shave. But yeah, that kind of stuff. The other question he asked was, what have we accomplished that we're most proud of? Do you know what I'm most proud of whenever anybody says I've been a patron for like 5 years or something like that? I'm always like, damn.
That's insane.
Even 1 year is amazing. But we have a lot of insanely long-term patrons. And there's something cool about somebody being like, especially because of the stuff we've talked about, we do extras, but they're usually in Discord or they're usually, so like, that is cool because that person put up like their cash or their time and they're not just clicking a link, which I love people who subscribe and stuff too, but there's something tangible about a person who's like, it's been worth $5 a month or it's been worth, you know, $20 a month.
And it's also because they are getting value.
Yeah, I just like that.
By being there, you know, whether it's the Discord or whatnot.
What about you? What's a accomplishment that you can look on and say, damn, let's say outside of the goals that you had set, because I know you're just like me, we didn't hit goals or we won't hit goals, but has there been something that's popped up that you're like, wow, that like
within like either the streaming or like content?
Well, they're saying content. So yeah, any kind of content. So it can be streaming and it can be YouTube videos.
I think the proudest achievement I have ever had is that I did a full playthrough of Divinity Original Sin 2 on my channel when I was doing Let's Plays. And that was 92 episodes, I think, each of them close to an hour.
Jesus Christ, that's insane.
It was genuinely just a handful of people watching that shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it was like that good because clearly it didn't pop off. But the fact that I went through with that and I was able to like commit to the end, even though not many people were watching, I wasn't getting like a huge incentive to do it at all. But that felt like I stuck with something big to the end, and I kind of demonstrated that I could stick with something.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I like you a lot and have you on here is because you definitely are you will stick through something. Honest truth is,
if I tell you,
and
I'm there.
I got to tell you, there's nothing in my life that's more negative than somebody who love playing games, let's say with Takedown or whatever, but you're like, I know I've only got them for a certain amount of time. It's going to fall apart. And
absolutely.
That doesn't with you. And it's pretty rare because even in real life, it's very hard to make sure that you're going to be available. Or if you say you're going to be available, that you're available. We all have it. But I have noticed that, like, you definitely are more on the case than I think genuine a lot of people are.
I appreciate that. I think that's important.
It's absolutely valid, man. You knock it out of the park in that. I would say for me, the best accomplishment might be getting you on the podcast, not because of anything else other than
you're
because
blowing smoke up my ass.
No, here we go. You ready? Because I'm going to turn it around. Because you and I did not understand each other when you first came in that fucking Discord. You were learning English.
Yeah, it was kind of rough there in the beginning.
Yeah. And by the way, I want to make sure people know, we weren't like calling each other names. It was just that I spoke insanely fast and used words Johnny never heard. And Johnny was speaking a language I had never heard with an accent that is really thick compared to now. Like, has definitely completely changed, really, compared to now. And there would be times where I'd be like, this guy's being a dick, man. He's being a dick. I don't get it. Like, I don't understand what so-and-so had said or whatever. By the way, never that mad. But I'd be like, what's he, like, is he being like prickly
he's trying to be difficult. Yeah.
And then over time, just continuing and continuing and continuing and being like, oh, I get it. And weirdly enough, it's for every one of you. Not in that there was like a hard to understand, but I'm saying that like that all the people from our podcast are from the Discord, like that every person has been.
Yeah.
So even if they don't stream, it's like, I don't care. I genuinely like talking to Go Burns. He's going to be on the, I genuinely like talking to Reg, Silver, Abs.
Yeah.
It was just like, let's just do it. And that's probably the honest, like the highest accomplishment. And it doesn't pay. Like, if my highest accomplishment was like multiple million view videos, but it pays way higher than that.
So
way
let
more
me ask you then.
than if I
so
had
that Dragon Ball video that popped off,
that was awesome.
Did you ever figure out the secret sauce?
No.
Why did that video, like, do you feel you did something special compared to your other reviews in that? Like, do you look back and go, dude, yeah, that's like my masterpiece?
Bro, I've spent so many hours trying to figure that out. Like, I'll just sit out on my deck with the dogs and I'll be like,
yeah.
Now,
just
I've
like,
got
what the
millions.
fuck?
I've got way higher than that before in views. It's just that what I was just like, what the fuck? Go look. Were other people not reviewing this? And it was the reaction. And maybe it was just timing where I was new or newer and people hadn't heard me and they didn't expect like me to have fun with and tease characters. Because sometimes you'll get somebody who's really a stickler. You'll be like, well, I mean, because whatever, you say something about Blanca or you say something about a Street Fighter, some people get genuinely pissed. For whatever reason with that game, I was taking the piss out of everybody. But also being like, I really like, I'm really having a good time. And it just worked. Yeah. But no, I have no clue. And it might even be blown up in my brain to where if I go back and look, I'm like, okay, technically this was a high-end video.
Yeah.
But not, the highest. And certainly I've had videos do way better afterwards. But that video in particular, it just felt good. And the people who commented and the people who enjoyed it were enjoying it. It's like the AI review videos. People loved those. Can't do them now. But that was probably the second tier. That was a time when I remember going to sleep satisfied. Now,
can you imagine the reception?
The reception now?
If you were to do like AI generated review.
Painful.
Oh my God.
Dude, I remember just being like, and I don't know how long it would have lasted, but I remember going home or going to bed and laughing at something the AI said and just being like, dude, that's so witty, but also dumb. It's like the dumb friend who says something that's really intelligent, but you don't pick up on it. It's like it was onto something. Later. Yeah.
For a minute.
Bro, they were so fun. And I remember talking to Absy, and Absy was like, dude, I think you have a gold mine. And I'm like, so do I. Because they were already doing really good for when people were probably watching the channel for normal reviews. So they were already starting to really pop off. And then I started seeing, like, I think it was the last video where I saw comments, and I was just looking out at the world going, yeah, people are not going to, they're just not going to allow other people to enjoy it. Because people would say, this is funny, and somebody would be like, it's AI. And they're like, yeah, no shit, it's in the title. Like, it's legitimately right there in the title. Why are you telling me? But they were getting that thing where it's like, hey, I like this. And 10 people were like, well, you can't like it. And therefore, it fell apart. Jay Frizzle says.
Okay.
Go ahead. What are you going to say?
I was going to challenge you to say you're proud of something you did. And it occurred to me, the Valhalla walking the walk. You have to be proud of that.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Because the amount of prep you did, I was listening to that and I thought, what's going on? Why is this suddenly a documentary? It's like a full-on...
On Viking traditions.
I've never heard so much data per minute.
Dude, the walking the walks are a fucking blast. If I ever become financially, like, I don't know what the term would be. Well, it's not only that. If I just had the time. Like, I thought about doing one in June, but I couldn't do one. Those are a blast, dude. They're so fun to do. They're so fun to do. And they're so dumb. And they really are dumb. It's like, I'm going to walk around in a game. It's like, for the most part, who gives a shit?
Yeah. But it's funny because nobody does it. Like when people play a game, they are running everywhere. I already told you this, but that changed how sometimes
You played.
I experience, because now I will sometimes just walk around for that kind of like, I'm actually looking around, taking it in.
It
very
feels
cool.
Nice when you
it's
see
very
that
strange
too. When you see something in a game,
dude, it feels strange when you see someone not running and they're like on purpose going slower. What the hell's going on?
What the hell's wrong with this guy? His shift button isn't working. Jay Frizzle says, you also had a way to your game reviews and descriptions. I remember introducing my cousin to ACG and was hooked from your review, and now we bond over. Oh, I see. He's answering. He's talking about the way we or about the why that video did well. Yeah, that was a fun video. So I'm going to look at Reddit to verify we're not missing game news. I always feel like, in the past we've missed game news during Friday's major event. Oh, whoa. Hang on. Something bad happened to someone. The co-founder for Tale Worlds has died. I don't know what that game is. Oh, the co-founder of Mountain Blade creators, Tale Worlds, has died. Okay. That sucks. I really liked Mountain Blade, man. I love those games. Mountain Blade is so fun. Did you ever do the Mountain Blade games?
Never played them myself.
Dude, no. Maybe you wouldn't. It depends on. Yeah.
They're deep games. Like you have to really go deep.
Yeah, they are.
Those games.
They are deeper games. But man, I'm telling you, if you ever get a chance, Mountain Blade with a mod or two, so sexy, so good. They are a blast. They are a true blast to play. What else do we have for game news?
Let's see what we missed. 31% of games released in 2026 include an AI disclosure in Steam. Surprising? Not surprising. The projections were that this number was going to go up to 50% in the next 2 years.
Okay, so let's pretend 31% is where it is, where it's not really probably already 50, right? Because of those who don't claim.
It's under.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, under
I think
advertised.
That's pretty fair. But let's say it's at 31%. Yeah, it's gonna go up. I think what I worry about is that companies will claim it. Okay, I believe that is artificially harming the truthful, or could.
How so?
I worry that those people who say I'm just using it for coding and are lying won't be checked, or that's all you have is that. And then the people who just fully admit, yeah, we're using it to help us with textures, let's say, because our texture artist is using it for helping him add, texture to a wall or something. I don't know. That they will be artificially smashed compared to the people who are just going to lie about it and say that they're not. And the reason why I say that, I've talked about before, but we do get a lot of people who are developers in the Discord or developers in other social media groups that will fully tell you that they are using it, but they're just not claiming it. And it's not even using it for the nefarious stuff. It's the fact that everybody thinks everything is nefarious, or the people who are loudest think everything is nefarious, and you need to go back and use an abacus and a slide rule to make your game. And I just don't know where it goes. I know I wouldn't want to be a dev because I see some genuinely amazing help for some parts of development. And what you and I were talking about, PRs or bugs or, whatever. But then you start looking at it and you're like, what is generative? Like, what if you use, because you can make tools that are generative. Do you have to claim those?
Yeah.
It's just very difficult. And they're built into engines now. They're literally in Unreal. So it's like, okay, just so everybody knows,
now you
can't use this entire section of Unreal. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to say now.
But I think 31% is low. I'll go out on the.
I think so too.
31% is way lower than the truthful amount. I'll go.
Do you make something of the fact that most of these are not like top chart games? So like, why do we expect that number to go up if they're not like top chart games? You know, what is the incentive? Is it like just the cost of making the games is lower?
Yeah, I mean, dude, how many times have we celebrated tech accelerating the person like myself who wants to make a game through procedural generation, which, by the way, got the same heat, not as heavy as AI, because AI is everywhere. Procedural generation at this time was mostly, you saw people doing it in game worlds, and we bitched. We saw some bad procedural generation, for sure, right? But
oh yeah,
I see small and middling groups looking and saying, listen, money's not there, but I really have an idea. It's not I'm going to type into Fable and say, make me a shooter. I'm going to be like, I'm making a shooter, blankety blank. I need a texture for this wall. Then you get the people who are like, I don't quite understand why I can't use a texture maker for this wall when I can go and buy an Unreal texture group. And we have people who railed against that, asset flips, and validly so. And we've seen companies use assets that were asset flips and make good games. But for some reason, no one thinks that's possible right now. They think that they think the good part can't happen. So I don't make the games, so I don't know. But I think the smaller and medium-sized group with the cash flow issues are the ones that I look at and I'm like, man, I don't know if you really want to make your game and you just don't have the money, where are we? Like what do you do?
yeah.
What do you do when you're going to be attacked for using a tech that's in your stuff? And by the way, I'm not pushing for it. I'm not a developer, but I just see that and I'm like, man, I don't know. Like, I don't know what they do. I have no clue how they're going to do it. I have no clue if it'll go away too. I think a lot of it has. I mean, 31% you could say is actually higher than I think we expect. So you could have that number be two things: higher than the expected answer and lower than the real answer. Right? Wouldn't you?
Yeah.
I would have expected 1% because it's so anti, but we're starting to see that, maybe people are like, it's not anti to me. I'm going to do
also,
it.
I don't know how useful that tag is, because some people might look at that and say, oh, 31% of games are AI made. Well, not really.
Right. When it doesn't mean that at all. Yeah.
Yeah. Like they used it for maybe like for some pictures or stuff. So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. True. I don't know, man. All I know is if anybody has a reason to rail against it, it's me. I mean, I for sure have lost money in subscribers because people have subscribed to not ACG because they're using my voice. So if there's anybody out there who has like a reason but I have to be pragmatic about it. And it's out there. So like, I wish I could say I want it to be gone and it would, but I mean, you got straight up people just copying my voice and not much I can do about it. YouTube ain't gonna YouTube is not gonna help.
Often imitated, never duplicated.
Yeah. Well, you can't make an AI stupider. You would have to if you wanted to duplicate me. Because, dude, seriously, there are times where I say stuff that makes sense to me and you and the people who are in chat, and and then it'll make sense to a viewer if they hear it a couple times, whatever. But some people are like, "What is Peter North facialing out a pinata of weapon upgrades?" It's a tenuous
connection there, Carrick, between the facial
and when you look it up, then you can blame me because you looked it up at a family dinner or something like that. You're like, what is Peter North? Admittedly, that also I really do like it when somebody will DM me and say, I didn't know this word, or I didn't know that's the term used here, and I learned that. That's cool. Not facialing. Not Peter North.
No, you got some good words every now and then.
Every now and then there's
pop up.
Every now and then there's a anathema. Let's see, what else do we got going on? We have any?
I saw that Rusted asked us. He was saying he just got into reading again and just finished Night Lord's Omnibus.
It's a great book.
I don't know that
great
one.
Series of books.
But
it's Warhammer 40,000.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've always wanted to get into those. I tried a few books, but none of them really got me excited to keep reading more stuff. He was asking, looking to expand my reading library. What are your absolute must-read sci-fi and fantasy novels? Okay.
What's the one we both read? Solar Prince or Solar Sun Eater?
Sun Eater.
Sun Eater.
I haven't finished it, man.
Okay.
It's
dense.
It's a dense. Yeah. I do want to go back and finish it. It's a bit dense. It's good though. It's a, expansive.
He's saying opera. Best, right? He's saying like
right.
Best ode
something
best.
You can put down.
Yeah. So for fantasy, without a shadow of a doubt, absolutely anything from David Gemmell. He's passed away, but he's probably one of the best character writers I've ever seen in my life. His characters feel real. You hear that all the time. And I will always attempt to read something when somebody says blank's characters feel real. It's never happened the way it's happened with David Gemmell's characters. Even when they appear unreal or artificial at the starting, it is crazy how good his writing is. Probably helped because he was in his late 50s when he started writing. He wrote up until he died at his writing chair and his writing desk. And he still typed on a typewriter. That's how old this motherfucker was.
He was born in London.
British
guy.
Yep.
I'll check him out.
Waylander, probably one of the 3 best books I've ever read in my life, and one of the best endings in history in a series. John Shano, the Shadow Man, incredible post-apocalyptic magic western that I've ever read. And then sci-fi, Altered Carbon, Thin Air.
Yeah.
Altered Carbon and Thin Air are 2 of the best books that I think I've ever read, because they're dense, but not so dense like Snow Crash or something, where you're like, fuck, I don't know if I understand this entire paragraph. I'm going to have to read that again.
Yeah.
Those are probably my 4. What about you?
Yeah, those are really good, man.
Yeah, we read the same stuff, so if somebody understands, we've read a lot of the same.
Yeah, we have overlap for sure.
Yeah.
And some of the obvious big stuff like Song of Ice and Fire is great as a fantasy series if you want to get into that, or like Brandon Sanderson stuff can be great if you like his writing. But I think for me the best book that I've read is The Name of the Wind. That's a fantasy book, an epic fantasy book, but it's grounded in a lot of like the challenges the protagonist faces, even though he's kind of a wizard, turn out to be really mundane. Like he's poor, so he's struggling to have a clean shirt, kind of thing, and that becomes a challenge. So that type of stuff, the way he writes, I found super cool.
Okay.
And absolutely love the way the magic system is set in that as well, and the love interest. Just everything clicked for me. So I loved reading that book. I can't remember another book that I was so into. But I would say for space stuff, there is a light standalone book that I really like by George R. Martin, which is weird. He doesn't do a lot of space stuff. But it's called Tough Voyaging. TUF is like the name of the character. And he kind of becomes like he gets this spaceship that's able to do changes to ecology. So he goes to a planet and they have some type of issue with their system, with their ecology, or maybe it's a predator or something like that. And he's tasked with solving the whole problem. So sometimes he will introduce a species that will like interact in some way and fix it. Yeah, so it's a little bit like scientific
biological
focused.
Engineering almost.
Biological engineering. Yeah, bioengineering. And I thought it was super cool, very cool, and easy to read. Because a lot of times sci-fi is dense, man. For me, there's a lot of learning curve to get all the terminology and everything that's going on, and the races and stuff. And that one was just really nice and easy to read. It's very nice.
Yeah, I would say the same thing with sci-fi. Like, it can happen with fantasy. It almost never does. But sci-fi, there's times where you're like, okay, I don't get it. I'll shout out a couple authors that I think are incredible, prolific before AI. So I want to point this out because they've got insane numbers of books that will sort of blow your mind. One is Jeremy Robinson. He wrote, he's got some kaiju books, which are basically like almost like a Pacific Rim. He's got some alien investigation books. He's got some military books. But the crazy thing is, that guy mixes the weirdest shit. So remember I said about the D&D where like we'll just sit down and somebody will say werewolves, computer tech, and, you know, an EMP pulse, and we'll make it. That is exactly how he puts his books together. They will be the weirdest even the military one. I was like, and I knew what he was talking about. I was like, I think he's talking about I think it's like the Divanovich manuscript, which is this book that no one's been able to figure in real life, that nobody's been able to figure out what language it's written in. Some people think it's a hoax, blah, blah, blah. And he mixed it in with like terrorism. And I was like, what the fuck, man? That's insane. And somebody had told me about it. They're like, he's able to mix the weirdest shit. So I started reading his books, and I was like, prolific as hell for a newer circa 10, 15 years. But he's got a shit ton of books. I would say, and I mean, like they're impressive. Then also James Hunt, who I've talked about before, and James Hunt, right? He's the guy who does a shit ton of military books. So he'll have like Meteor, and it'll be 5 books about what happens if a meteor strikes the world and normal people try to live. They're very Division 1 and 2 style. Here's the world, here's a city, guy's got to get some food, blah, blah, blah. Then his wife might be banging somebody because she was separated by 600 miles, and he's working across, and then they jump to her, just ramming away. And he's like, I love my wife. And she's over here like, I miss my husband, but he's not here. I'm sure he died. I'm going to bang everybody. And then they meet, and somehow it works out. And there's some gunshots and fights and bad guys that are like Jericho, the TV show, where like a bad guy will rise up above the rest to sort of control the resources. He's got EMP. He's got Meteor, I think. He might have one called Tsunami or Pandemic. He's got a shit ton of books, man. The guy can write, and I don't know how he does it. The other is something of the Red Mage. Red Mage. This book is the only book in like 15 years to actually confuse me that somebody wrote it. Give me one, because I can't spoil this. So I'm going to try to give I'm going to try to give a explanation without spoiling one of the craziest series, Red Mage, that I've read ever. Let me verify if it's in my sales. This guy's also prolific as hell. Let me find the right place in Amazon to do my searches. I think that's it. Dude, Amazon's got Kindle. Amazon's got fucking the blank device. It's so hard to find shit on your pages when you have like a ton of Amazon stuff. Okay. Penty, if you're watching, what's that Red Mage book's name? I gave it to you. I think you loved it as well. Oh, man. I got to tell people. Okay, so while I'm looking, zombie. Okay, zombie, post-apocalyptic, magic, The Stand from Stephen King. Mix all that together, and then, without ruining anything, it's not RPG light, which is that fourth wall break, but it is.
Yep.
But it's not that, but it is that. And it is, dude, they don't call attention to it. So at first, this is exciting, but I can't. At first, I was like, is this guy copying a blank? Because I imbibe a lot of media. And I was like, I think he's copying blankety blank. He's got to be copying this thing. Then I kept reading further, and he was, but he wasn't at the same time. And it's one of the greatest series it's mind-blowing. I don't know how he gets away with it, but there are parts where if you've watched movies, read books that are, let's say in the last 20 years, that are sci-fi, fantasy, blah, 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 there's times where you're going to be like, is that blank from something? It's fucking awesome. But it doesn't start that way. And then it just proceeds to lose its shit as it goes on. And then adds this other element on top of the zombies, the post-apocalyptic, the magic, The Stand. Dude, primo. And fucking out of the blue. And I love it because I'm trying to sell it and I can't fucking remember the name. Because I didn't realize I have over 6,000 books read in my current.
Holy moly.
Dude, I read a lot. Oh, come on. Is Penty here? Hey, you know what? Let me ask Penty.
Jeremy Robinson looks up my alley as well. Like based on the stuff he does.
Oh, dude, they're great. They're phenomenally
I was just eyeing,
well done. Let me look.
Yeah, he's got
here,
some stuff
I
that looks
red. Let me see if in books, because I told it to Penty in the book. I bet you I can find it if I just scroll real quick, because not a lot of people are saying those words. Come on, baby. Sorry, dog. You got to go pee-pee? Man, I feel like I might not be able to find it. Oh, my God. It's something in the Red Mage or something. Oh, dude, I hate this shit. And I read it just long. It was 3 years ago. Is Penty here? I'm going to DM Penty right now.
Do it. Otherwise, we leave it as a cliffhanger for people.
There's no such thing, man. We don't believe in them. We don't believe in them. Hang on one second. Penty. Bro, what's that Red Mage book I suggested to you last year? Anyway, great book. Yeah. Do you also like Alistair Reynolds, the sci-fi writer? Have you ever read any? I've tried a couple of his. I've liked one or two, but you were talking.
No, I haven't read them yet.
Okay. He's sort of classic, I guess you would say, in a way, but I've had a bit of difficulty like getting into his stuff. I've tried a number of his books, and a couple I've really, really liked, but let's see. I'm gonna find it. Anybody in chat know what I'm talking about? Probably not, because I fucking sat here and said I couldn't even fucking talk about it. God, I hate this. Dude, I'm looking through this. I don't even remember reading this. Oh, I do remember Grid Wars was awesome too. Have you noticed on Amazon how many times they'll sell a 10 or 11 or 12 book series in those boxes now? Like they'll be like Grid Wars is what I'm looking at. It's free on Kindle Unlimited, and it's 9 books. So it's like this, this big thing. I hate this because I know I bought it on Amazon, and I don't understand. Amazon search sucks balls. Okay, I'm going to try one last time, then we'll wrap it up. Come on, baby. Hold together. Well, I'm looking at this.
Go ahead. It's not Xander Boyce, is it?
That doesn't sound familiar
Advent?
For the name. What was the book called, or whatever?
Advent, Red Mage Book 1. I was just looking for
no.
Red Mage.
Oh my God, I can't believe I didn't think about doing this. Of course, ChatGPT to the rescue.
There you go.
Hey, look.
Look on order history, someone is saying.
I did.
Maybe.
It's not there.
Huh.
Oh, you know why? Because it might have been Kindle Unlimited, where maybe if you release it from Kindle Unlimited, it's not, you didn't order it. You didn't buy it.
Yeah.
But anyway, and zombies. Okay, here we go. Looking for a book with red in its name, fantasy, post-apocalyptic, and zombies, and it's like Mage of the Red Door or something. Let's see. Let's see the response. Because, dude, I have a feeling it'll get it right away. It'll be, which is typical.
It's really good at that.
Dude, that one time I was like, there's a girl who's really, like, I found her really attractive. She was wearing this one thing in a movie in the 1970s that was blah, 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 and it was like, Troll.
Boom.
And I was like, what the fuck? I didn't even say it was fantasy. And it was like, that's for sure Troll. It was awesome. Okay, here we go. It's searching. It's finding. It says it's finding some possibles. And while that person said, look, I did order history. That didn't work. Let me try I even typed in red in order history and it didn't work. Kindle books. Okay, here we go. Come on. I hate this shit. What do we got for music? Any music you can suggest? Anything you've been listening to, like music-wise?
There is a new Breaking Benjamin song
No
that I've
shit.
been listening to. Yeah. Yeah, they wrapped up the new album, so that's gonna be coming out at some point. But they have basically two new songs for this new album that are quite good. Outside of that, honestly,
Found it. And it's
What do you
because
got?
I had messed up on, I had said mage and it was king. So listen to this. These are this is by Nick Cole, Nick Cole. Super prolific, a shit ton of books with multiple authors plus his own. It's called The Red King, and it's Ward Book 1. Ward spelled WYRD. And it, dude, trust me, worth it.
the
Worth
Red
it.
King.
The Red King. Yeah, absolutely
Okay.
worth it. 100% a sort of a mind screw, especially if you stick through what at first might appear to be, your zombie post-apocalyptic fantasy. Got it.
Bro, I own it. I just realized.
Oh, you do.
I have
own
it on my
Holy
Kindle.
Shit, we've talked about this before. I talked you into getting it, and you said I'll get it and I'll read it later because it was Kindle Unlimited.
Exactly. It's on my Kindle. Okay.
Dude,
nice.
I'm telling you.
Good.
I'm telling you.
Good.
You definitely need to get it. I got to get going here because these dogs are starting to lose their mind. But do we have?
Sounds good.
Do we have it? And then Penty
No, we can.
found it. Red King. Okay. Anyway, do we have anything else
we can
before
bench.
we go?
No, we can bench some of the other topics we had there, like boring and stuff. Those aren't going anywhere, so we can go circle back to those next week.
Okay. Are you streaming anything tomorrow?
Yeah, I think I'm going back to Black Flag. Actually,
Damn. Okay.
play
Good
some
game.
Black Flag probably.
Great
Yeah,
game.
great
They did
game.
a really good job on it. Yeah, I said found it, Red King, and Penty goes, "Oh my god, it is Red King." But right when I found it, he DM'd. He's like, "I'm drawing a blank." And for me, so if you get a chance, check out Halo, the Halo review. I would appreciate a kind, if you're aggressive, an aggressive comment, I guess, or share. If you're or aggressively kind. Like, dude,
Aggressively share.
Dude, what about this? Like, dude, I fucking love you. I'm going to share the shit out of this. You can do that.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's some powerful.
And we're getting into the busy times. There's codes out there for games. There's stuff out there for previews. So you'll be seeing a bunch of stuff from me here. We're getting back into the busy time. I apologize for the audio issue. There was a couple audio clips on the best games coming up. Don't quite know what happened. Went and checked the original. Weren't there. So it sort of made me happy, but I should have checked once I uploaded it. I usually do to see if YouTube fucked it up. They did. But other than that, yeah, you'll just be seeing a bunch of videos from us.
good.
We got some new stuff planned.
Star Wars XCOM coming out soon.
Dude, Star Wars XCOM, GTA, Beast of Resurrection, Beast of Reincarnation.
Oh yeah.
Mortal Shell 2.
Damn. Mhm.
Shitty rental landlord or whatever it's called that I posted in the video, which in the best of August games, that game is number one for me. Listen, it's a simulator, but instead of trying to do well, you are trying to scrimp and scrape as much money from the people living in the hotel in the houses as you possibly can. So you're like doing shitty repairs. Absolutely saw it and was like, fuck this. For sure.
Let's go.
This. Yeah. Oh, I did promise Servant Berserk I would talk about something, and he has asked a couple times. I do want to talk about it real quick. Do you have to hit the pisser or anything?
I think I'm good for a bit. Yeah.
Real quick. Sorry about that. So what exactly did you want us to talk about? He was talking about the China AI consortium thing. We'll try to make it interesting because I
did not see that. Was there like something specific that popped up there?
Yeah, unlike America where it's a little bit more, I guess you could say it's one positive about their type of politics is that like they're sort of under the same wing, even if there is some competition, and they sort of get together unlike Anthropic and AI, who hate OpenAI, don't like each other.
Hate each other.
They sort of hate each other. Yeah. So DeepSeek and there's a couple others that you don't hear the name of. All those guys sort of get together. They decide not decide where AI is going, but they have like a consortium where they sort of discuss stuff.
That sounds evil. It's like an evil consortium planning our demise.
I plead the fifth, but we have talked about that. And I do think that that's one place where certain politics do come into it, to where, so people would be like, there's a lot of whataboutisms that go on with like who's doing what where. And I'm like, I'm not quite sure we want to be in the whataboutism right now, but that's the way it is. Servant, come on, man. Come on, man. What do you want us to talk about?
Come on, this is your moment.
This is your moment to shine.
This is your moment.
It's a moment to we've stopped everything for you. My dogs are peeing all over the floor, eating up the floor. Do you guys smoke or use nicotine pouches? I've smoked one time when I was 15, and it was fucking horrendous. And then that's it. Yeah, one time in my entire life. And
dude, same. I smoked one cigarette when I was, I think, 18 in university. It was so bad that, never had any.
I can't, and my parents smoked, so I don't like the smell of nicotine, don't like the smell of weed.
Nope.
I don't really like the idea of this. So, Johnny, does this ever bother you? Because this actually is very real. I don't like the idea of breathing something that's a mist into my lungs. Like, I feel like that's inside me. Like, my skin is here to protect me. Bones are here to not be broken and to protect you.
Yeah. You're bypassing your defenses.
Everything. Yeah. It's why I would never do injections of drugs or whatever. Like, there's certain things that I'm like, I don't mind needles at all. I give blood. I would take an injection of a medication if I needed it, but like injectable drugs or whatever you call it, like heroin or something. No fucking way.
Yeah. No, same.
I just, the idea of, you said it just right. In my entire body has been built to protect the outside from my fucking inside.
You're using a tool to bypass all your defenses and plug that into.
Dude, that is so wrong to me.
Gnarly, man.
Just about the convention, and I mean, I don't know. Oh, okay. I'm curious if they mentioned anything that could take over the West AI. Okay, so we can talk about this really quickly. One, you may hate American AI when you're looking at Anthropic or you're looking at OpenAI, but they right now do have financial benefits from private and normal investors, and they also have super large models that are trained in a very particular way, where DeepSeek and those guys do take some of that information from those and they train their models, and that's sort of where the whataboutism comes about, where people are like, well, they scraped the internet. It's not the same thing. But regardless if it is or not, right now, the American models have safeguards that most people want, and we've seen a flip. So in the old days, you'd be like, whoa, there's no safeguards. We need to put safeguards in. Now you have like this flip state where people are like, how dare you put safeguards in? And then there's also some bullshit, like Anthropic was like, oh, hey, our system is so powerful, people have called it a nuclear weapon. And then GPT with the hugging face thing that recently happened, where they told their system to go find some stuff, and it did find some stuff, and it attacked Hugging Face. It was OpenAI hacked Hugging Face.
Hacked it.
Yeah, but again, autonomous? No. Both groups agree that was not autonomous. That was they fully asked it to go do a test and try to get out. It did so, and it did so successfully. So in a way, it's exactly what you wanted. You don't want to attack somebody, obviously. That's ridiculous. And then Hugging Face was like, yeah, I wish we'd had, if we had had this non-guardrailed system, we could have defended ourselves easier. Valid point. I think with Chinese systems, they've also figured out a way to use less memory because they have not got the memory and they've not got the video cards, so they're doing other things. I think that's very smart. I think that it's probably not a state ownership, America, West or East, that will lead. It will most likely be not Transformers and not what we're seeing right now. I think that what we're seeing right now is awesome and harnesses are amazing. But I think that the true AI, whatever it is, won't be just a Transformer model.
So a different foundation altogether
Or a
to the
mix.
technology.
I think people are seeing mixture of experts, number one, being fucking freakishly useful, but the big one now is major parameters, active parameters. So imagine having 600 experts who know everything, but why would you ask the math guy about painting your painting? You would just ask the painting guy. Maybe you'd ask the guy about emotions. So they use this thing where they have a ton of parameters, but it channels only to the experts that know, and it does not take memory for all the parameters. Fantastic. They're super fast, and they test really well, and everybody's trying that. In fact, some people think a lot of the stuff that goes on in GPT or Anthropic is a mixture of all these combined.
Mm-hmm.
That kind of stuff is super useful. But what we're seeing now, I don't think it'll... I think safeguards in America are awesome, and then also are fucking... they cause issues. Dude, so let me tell you something. I said, how do people Trojan horse videos for YouTube? Trojan horse on a video for YouTube is this. You won't believe what happens at video 5 in my 5 list, right? That's pretty much a Trojan horse video. You're sneaking something in, or you could say, instead of 5, there's nothing surprising about it. That would be even better Trojan horse, right? Because it's either something's in the Trojan horse or not. It wouldn't let me get the answer. It was like, well, that's unacceptable to try with our systems. And I'm like, that's odd. You're the one who told me about it. So I went back and I found where AI had told me about this when I was talking, and I was like, you are the one mentioning the Trojan horse thing. Now you're telling me I can't ask you how you got that data. And I was like, yeah, that's against our guardrails, because Trojan is also the name of viruses and malware and how they're used. So it had panicked. I hear my dog chewing something that sounds expensive. Hey, brother, what do you got down there? Oh, nothing. Yeah, and I want everybody to have them. But if other nations or other groups who put together AI don't have them, you're in deep shit. It's like the Geneva Convention. If one group follows it and the other group doesn't, there's a very high chance the group that doesn't follow it's going to win. Like, maybe
100%.
not hearts and minds, but they're going to be able to win because they're just, I mean...
they're going to be faster by definition. Like,
yeah. It's Stuxnet.
Yeah, for sure. And there's probably no hope of getting a global...
There's none.
Consortium, like some global guidelines that everybody signs up for.
There is none. If we stop, others will purpose. So here's the thing. Elon Musk, others are like, hey, you know what? We should stop developing AI for a little while. Psychologically, so people are saying the stream's acting up. Sorry. Psychologically, that may sound good, but people who can listen can still see it. Psychologically, that may sound good. It will actually cause other groups and actors to actively go harder while you're slowed down. That's why you will see people who have a burnout say, I'm stopping videos, not I'm thinking about stopping videos. Because if you say, I'm thinking about stopping videos, and let's say you're a top whatever, other people who do videos will look and go, oh, they're thinking of stopping videos. Let's go in.
Now it's my time.
Yeah. So yeah, we can stop there. I don't know what happened. Somebody said we sort of died out. Did it start freaking out on stream? Looks good to me.
I don't know. It looks good on my end, but you never know.
Refresh your page.
YouTube.
Yeah, you never know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
refresh your page.
So we'll just have to see. Last one. Any tips to make sure we stay relevant with AI ACG? I want to still be useful as I watch. Oh yeah, definitely. I mean, just Hacker News, an open mind towards that some people will be using it and some won't. So I would say you got to read up on it. You got to read up on where Anthropic's going. You got to read up on what's available to a person that is going manager/leader, and you start focusing on that. Because the people who use it are going to even if their code isn't the greatest, even if they have a small ability to fix that, they're going to be able to outdo you. They're going to be able to perform you. So you have to at least know what's happening, even if you hate it. Right?
Yeah, definitely have a crack with it too. Just like try having it plan stuff for you. It doesn't have to do the coding for you if you don't want. But like, hey, help me plan this code change I want to do. Or help me code review something.
Dude, it's amazing for that.
Massive.
It's amazing.
Incredible.
For just saying, help me plan. I mean, okay, help me plan my desktop. I took a picture And I was like, hey, I want to move this and this to this and this. Can you tell me or draw? And ChatGPT drew a picture of where things should
No
be.
way. Oh,
Yes.
that's cool.
It drew a picture where things should be. And it was like, this is actually a proper viewing angle for this. This is proper for here. That mixture of things, that's awesome. I also was going to get a TV stand. Just went online, was like, I want to get this TV stand. Can you replace the one I have so I can see it in my house? Take a picture of your wall, say, I want to change the color. What would it look like? Those are all the same thing.
Damn.
They're all
Yeah,
still
that's
combined in all of this. That kind of stuff can be helpful. It can be helpful for older people too. We're helping my mom and dad right now. My dad's broke his back, broke twice, broke his neck, and has, I guess you would say, a little bit of what you would say would be pre-Parkinson's, I guess, but he has some issues standing. And they were trying to figure out how to set up stuff in his house. And the person who came to his house took like 6 pictures and then threw it up on his TV in like 10 minutes and was like, this is what it'll look like. This is what this will be. Do you want this here? It was, dude, it made my mom and dad, who are pretty advanced in age, who are stressed out, feel a bagajillion. There was nothing that person could have explained that would have equaled looking and going.
Yeah.
And then
here's the picture.
He wrote the plan.
Here's what
out.
It looks like.
He's like, here's what the plan will be. Here's where we're doing this stuff. And it made it. And he was like, oh, I need to add this step in. And first, it was awesome. My mom and dad don't use it, but other people were. That person got a shit ton of positive press from my mom and dad. And that can be, sort of that can be sort of, one of the most important things. How do you stay on top of preventing to allow you to critical think? I found myself relying too much. Just turn it off. I could see that. Yeah. What do you do? I don't even worry about the critical thinking. I do it. If I ask it a question, it's because I've already thought to that point. And I'm like, can you prove me wrong real quick? Because this is what I think or whatever.
Yeah, either that's a really good one. What am I missing about this?
Yeah.
So I will paint the picture of what I'm thinking for a project or something. Like, hey, here's what I'm thinking. Here's like the problems I see, blah, blah. What am I missing? That's a really good one. Another one is, where should I direct my attention? So I have this big problem, or I have this big thing I need to review. Where are the critical points in this, and where should I spend most of my attention? And that just kind of helps you direct where you're going to spend your time. And the helping to plan stuff is incredible. I'm blown away by the plans it's able to help you out with.
Even if it just starts a plan and I can be like, okay, this is sort of what, we've used it a couple times for trips. It's been okay for that. But a lot of times it's just out of my bailiwick where I'm like, oh, this is not really my strength. So I'm going to need some help. And I never, ever ask anything once in my life, ever. I either ask it once and then send it to another one, or I ask it once and look at it with family, or ask it again to re-look at whatever. Because just like a person where you say, hey, what kind of nails do I need in my deck? And they say blank to blank. Oh, I'm sorry. What I really meant was blankety blank. If it happens to real people, it can happen to an AI. You just got to be on top of everything. Anyway, that'll be it for us. I hope you guys absolutely love the podcast. It was a joy. As always, thank you, Johnny, for showing up and yakking about shit. Maybe what we'll do next time, we'll get those science ones in and we'll lock in a time, or I'll put a timer up so we make sure we hit those, because I want to talk about some science and shit like that. Yeah. Hope you guys all have an awesome week, awesome weekend. Enjoy some Halo or whatever you end up playing. Peace out and enjoy the rest of it. Oh, Johnny Plays Live. Check him out tomorrow. He'll be streaming some Black Flag.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Jesus Christ. Tried to end 5 times. I guess it wasn't even that long.